right, mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Welcome, kings and queens. Let me know if I'm coming through in the chat. Hey, Crystal, I see you. Welcome. Y'all, give me a 1 if I'm coming through. If my audio is good to go in the chat. And I will get this impromptu live session started. All right. I see y'all. Yes, my people showed up, baby. Myra, I see you. Keonta. I got a 1 from B. Taylor. All right, Teresa West. But let me just listen, so let me tell you what happened. Hermes, I see you. Love, Denise, Terry, T Baby. Yes, T Baby is in the house. Feminine, Melanin University, Janet Jenkins, Barbara, 1. All right. I see everybody. Sherry-on, I see all of you. Waves, hugs, and kisses. Let me show my face so y'all know I'm here. Yes, yes, yes. I am here having a glass of wine. And I wanted to hop on y'all because we had to cancel the show tonight. There's really bad weather in Florida. So I guess it's the part of Florida that they're in. It's like flooding, flash flood warning. But I wasn't going to leave y'all hanging. That's not how we do in the palace, right? So I figured, you know what? I'm up. I may as well come talk to my people, have a good time. And B. Taylor say hair is laid, edges are intact. Yes. I just want to have a little fun because a lot of times when I'm like talking to you all, it's very organized, coordinated. But I was like, fuck it. Let's just have a late night session where we're just calling in. I'm not going to be too long. In the words of a Baptist preacher, I'm not going to be here long. But I just wanted to come and just let my hair down a little bit, have a good time with you all, talk about some shit that's on my mind too. And I don't know where this is going to go, but just following me, honey. Just following me. Stay with me. Just serious. I see you, honey. Ruthie Green. Hello. Hello. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my, I know that's right. So listen, let me drop the link in the chat. Feel free to come up. We can just talk. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about YouTube beef, y'all. What is going on with all these content creators like fighting and I'm talking about throughout YouTube, and it's particularly with Black people. And I'm like, damn, can't we just all get along? It's enough room for everybody. And I'm not talking about the Love and Marriage Huntsville beef. It is something in the water. Listen, it's something in the water. Black folks are beefing across YouTube, honey, like it is the Last Supper. You hear me? Like, what is it? Sodom and Gomorrah. Simply Be, nice to see you. Sexy Mama. Yes, a rose is still a rose. She said they're trying to get into more algorithms because they're sliding off into all sorts of sectors. Is that what it is? Child, I ain't gonna call out no names. They say who's beefing. Drop the link. Let me drop the link. Hold on. Let me drop the link. Let me see. Hold on. And y'all, listen, I know my people. So most of you do not have to be on camera. If I don't know you, I will ask you to cam up in the back just so that I know you're a real person. But we're going to talk tonight. We're going to keep it real. You can ask me any question. I can ask you any question. We're going to keep it real. Okay. It's a lot of things on my mind that I would like to cover. Normally, I stay behind the veil when it comes to drama and all of that. But there's some things that's kind of on my mind. And I may skirt past it, get real close to it, side swipe it real quick. I'll keep it classy. That's the right thing to do. But let me bring my friend up. B. Taylor, welcome to this. Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. It's B. Taylor TV.
Welcome, B. Taylor TV. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm so glad I finally caught a live. I'm happy you did this. This is going to be a great discussion.
Look, Sherry-on say, hold up, let me go pour my wine. So y'all go pour a glass of wine. You know what? Let me get y'all, hold on. Because you know what? Do I need... Just kidding.
Look, I've been drinking wine every night, and baby, when I tell you them two little pounds didn't hit me, I was like, I'm gonna save it for tomorrow because I'm gonna
save it for tomorrow.
I'm gonna save it till tomorrow.
Somebody said, "Did you see the old lady's first panel?" I saw a snippet of it. So what they're talking about? Are y'all talking about? Hold on, Oak here asked me that. Are you talking about the interview that they did with Melody Cherie? Okay, I saw a snippet of it. I have not been able to watch the entire thing, but I typically get an opportunity to catch up on the weekends. Speaking of weekends, B. Taylor, what you got up for this weekend?
Child, well, my kids is a full weekend, so I go out. Can I say that? What's happening tomorrow? Okay, well, after work, me and Shiva gonna go get some drinks. We're gonna
Yes,
finally link up after like weeks and
we
months,
gonna
it feels like.
tonight.
Yes.
Mhm, mhm.
No, I'm just
I
trying to
don't know the words.
yeah, I
I
need a
feel
drink.
like falling in love. So I want to talk
Hey.
about something.
Okay.
Have you been seeing all of this YouTube beef going on
Girl,
in the
what
streets
you
of?
mean?
Listen,
We've
I'm
been
just
in the beef.
saying.
People been trying to beef with us. What do
That's
you
true.
mean? They adding us in the beef. They want to start a problem with the queen. And I don't know what
Well,
to call myself, just be Taylor, but
a duchess.
the Duchess, okay?
You could be a
I love
duchess. You could be a duchess. Listen, y'all, it's a
that.
lot of shit going on in these YouTube streets with black people. And let me say something. Y'all need to chill out, black folks. It's
Mm,
enough room. I've never seen so much toxic behavior from black people in a span of a period of time until I came to YouTube. Like I am completely amazed at
yeah.
at the links that a lot of black people will go to be on top. It's
Yeah.
absolutely utterly embarrassing to me, right? And there's we can talk shit, y'all. There's panels where you talk a little shit. You know what I'm saying? You do your thing,
Yeah.
but the insults and the levels that a lot of these people go to just to win, just to be right, just to
Mhm.
drive home a point.
These people are miserable. They got nothing else to do and they're lazy. Can we just expand on how lazy these people are? Because it's so easy to clip up a video, sit on camera and talk ish about somebody, right? But to put in some actual work, to put in some research, have your talking points and actually bring a productive conversation that's educational, that's actually doing something for the world instead of just being involved in mess, just shows that they lazy. They want to fast come up because I'm noticing in YouTube, the more beefs you are in, the more views you get, the more people come to your page because but then you got to think about what type of people are you attracting? You're not attracting people who rock with you because they like you. They want to come see some drama and entertainment. They want to come and see the person actually they're only coming to watch you to talk crap about a person that they're jealous of. You know how they say your haters link up?
Baby, you better believe
Baby,
it.
it's a lot of haters linking up as friends, knowing that they're not real friends. But they're gonna pretend that they're friends. People literally make friendships based off the hate that they have for another person or
And
dislike.
I hate to see it. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about, let me tell the audience, I'm talking about YouTube at large, y'all. What's going on in YouTube at large? This has nothing to do with the Love and Marriage Huntsville stuff. This is way bigger than that, what I'm talking about. And this is like with women utilizing men for an agenda to bully other women online, to make
Hmm.
physical like threats,
Yeah.
shit that'll get you in a lot of trouble in real life, actually.
Yeah.
Actually. And you know what amazes me? Men that blindly walk into defense without
Mm.
having, well, not even without having all of the information. I don't think they care to have it.
Yeah.
Like the men I know will never easily sign up to annihilate anybody. Without most men that I know are pretty smart and sharp. They're gonna
Hmm.
sit back, they're gonna watch each player on the chessboard. They're gonna
Yeah.
assess. And before they even step into a war that's not even theirs, right? Because you
Right.
got to realize what's going on around you. My dad used to say, people will use you up. Like that song, you just keep on using me until you
Right.
use me up. And a lot of these men are walking right into these women's agenda,
Because
right?
they're feminine men. Let's be
Ooh,
honest here. That's why you're saying that the men that you know don't operate in that type of energy because a lot of these men, especially in the black manosphere, they're very feminine. They're very emotional. They're easily triggered. They're jealous of
ooh.
women's success on YouTube. So they gotta feel like I guess to be relevant, they gotta gang up on the successful person.
Millie Nelson said it will chew you up and spit you out. I see you. Knowledge and relationships. I dropped the link, y'all, in case you want to come up and add your 2 cents. We're just shooting a shit tonight. I had a show tonight, but it got canceled just because of bad weather. But I wasn't going to let you down. I had to show up. I was already ready for camera. And I thought, you know what? Let's just talk a little bit
Yeah.
informally. Talk about some shit that's going on YouTube, real shit that's going on in the world, right? Just share openly. Viewers, feel free to call in. But I do want to say, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I've never seen so many feminine men,
Mm-hmm.
vocal men that are highly emotional, easily
Mm-hmm.
triggered,
Mm.
emotionally vulnerable, and not in the most beautiful way, in a
Right.
way like a live wire. When they talk about dogs, they say insecure dogs bite. They always tell you, a scary person will hurt you and a
Yeah.
scary dog will bite you.
Mm.
A
Mm.
scary dog will attack. So a lot of times when I'm seeing men react to a talking point
Mm.
and their reaction is to attack the person and not the point, I'm like, that's a scared dog right there.
Yeah.
And an insecure dog is a dangerous dog. I see Deb. Hey, Deb, can you show your face real quick before I bring you up, sweetheart? Just flash your camera on. Let me know you're real. That's an avatar. Uh-uh.
Yeah. Just make sure it's not nobody.
Deb, I got to see your real face. Sorry. And that's pitch black. I can't bring you up until I know you're a real person. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, sorry, Deb. Unfortunately, I can't. Um, you don't have to show your face on the screen, but you got to show me backstage just to let me know you're real. But
Can
no,
I
I'm
also? Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say because before I started a YouTube channel, I used to watch YouTube beefs happen, and I would see other content creators that I like, and they would just talk about how people would plan out beefs on YouTube. Like a girl that I personally know, she got into the YouTube world with some other big YouTubers in the Houston area, and they told her they had management, and the management basically said like, you got to act like her boyfriend was trying to talk to you because it's gonna bring some tension, and then y'all gotta act like y'all beefing, and then they for real end up like beefing because the fake beef turned into real beef. And then there's other people that's just like, that people would start beef with them out of nowhere. The bigger you climb, and that's one YouTuber said, the bigger you climb up the ladder in YouTube success, the more people are gonna come after you. So what you're seeing now, Sheba, is because you're climbing up the ladder of success, people want to come after you. They want to fight you. They want to tear you down because they want to come for your platform. They want what you got. And they know that your name, my name, bring views. So guess what? If they see that, what is it so special about her? Why she got all them followers over there? Why is everybody always talking about her? Negative, good or negative, people always mentioning our name in the comment section, right? Or the comment section's a little bit dry. So they're like, you know what? Well, I want to be mentioned right along with them.
It's funny you say that. I hopped on a panel on Sunday night. A young lady was having a panel. Typically, y'all, I'm telling you, I'm really busy in my real life, right? And I'm grateful that the level of my work has produced an amount of success. What you see from people is the input. So what you see happening on their page, be it positive or negative, that's what they sow into. So if you
Mm.
see a lot of drama, if you see niggas in the comments cursing women out, that's what that content creator promotes. People
Mm-hmm.
that come into the chat, they're just taking on the environment of the creator. They're taking on the persona of the content creator. So if a content creator says, I didn't have nothing to do with that. Oh, no, you had everything to do with that because
Yeah.
that's who you are. I see you, Deb. Thank you. I see you, Deb. That's exactly who you are because water seeks its own level, honey. Birds of a
Mm.
feather flock together. You
Mm.
cannot escape who you are because where you are, there you are. And that includes your following, that includes your chat members, because people like attract like. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
Like attracts like. I see you, M3. I see you. But let me bring everybody else up. Let me bring Deb up. Hey, Deb, how's it going? What's going on? M3, I'm bringing you to the stage. What's going on, you guys?
Well, I heard you talk about the YouTube beef that's going on, And I'm aware of some of that. I've been to the Patreons and I've heard what the ladies have to say, and it's really sad. And, you know, things were shown that was proof that someone was striking a fellow content creator's video. Uh,
Wow.
a, a
What?
proof was shown
Mm,
when when you strike someone's video. Evidently, I'm not a content creator, never have been one, but I'm learning about it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, YouTube sends you an email and tells you that your video has been struck, and
mm.
they tell you who struck it.
Yep,
Ooh.
Yeah,
they do.
it's all there in the email.
They
So
do.
you
So what?
so
They just striking people's stuff just to strike it to hurt their income? Is that
well,
what's going on?
I don't. All I can say, I don't know for sure exactly why this person was thought of as their sister. Very, yes, they were very close. They'd spoken on the phone.
Damn.
They were helping her build her channel.
Mm,
And uh, I don't, I don't know if it was jealousy because they had got to a certain level and she was trying to get there and they were helping her, but she hadn't yet got there. I'm not sure what this person's motives were, but like, you just don't do that. And then
mm,
I don't think she even knew that YouTube would notify them
Oh
that it was
shit.
her
Oh
that did it.
wow.
oh wow.
Didn't even know. So
Because
she's
if you get
striking
three,
people.
if
Yeah,
you
do
get
y'all
three, they
hear
take your
this?
channel down.
The level of hate, people striking you just because you're growing, right? Not this whomever this is, and I don't know. Um
I'm
who
not going to
and thank you for
say
not saying names.
no.
But whomever this is, they were not aware that you just can't hit somebody and leave because YouTube is fully transparent. So apparently, YouTube let the content creator know that this person is the person striking you. That is crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, her
It-
sister struck her channel without, she had no idea that there was a problem between them. She just likes, a knife in the back, a knife in the back.
oh, wait a minute. They said Queen Sheba, this Ebony, and all of that information is incorrect. Who's Ebony?
A
Andrea, who's
content
Ebony?
creator.
M3, what are your thoughts about everything we're talking about, or what do anything that you want to talk that you want to bring to the
I,
Okay, I just want
I
to make
saw
sure
the
that.
email. I saw
okay.
the email, so Andrea's wrong because
Oh, Miss
I saw
Debbie says
Uh-oh,
she saw the
uh-oh,
receipt.
uh-oh.
Wait, Andrea, you're more than welcome to come up if you want to add a little texture and
I just said
context.
that's incorrect. You got me messed up.
Miss Debbie says she saw the receipt. So Andrea, let me drop the link in the chat. Hold on. Hold on, M3. Wait a minute. Hold on, Miss Debbie. Let's hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold
Yes,
on.
you're gonna have to explain yourself, Missy.
Hold on, Andrea. This is for you, Andrea. All right, M3, what's going on?
Not too much. Good evening to you, ladies. Hopefully, there's not a lot of noise
Hi.
because I am at the gym.
That's
But
okay.
I do. Okay, thank you. I do want to give my 2 cents because unfortunately, as a content creator, you're gonna run into like a lot of people that gives you that fake type of love, the love that's not really sincere, but at the same time, you know, it's just enough for them to sneak behind your back and to try to take you out. Now I haven't received like as far as strikes from like other content creators, but however, um, I had people that try to take like music that we actually own and they'll upload it to their own YouTube channel. And me and one of my music producers of Notch Relationships, we had to pretty much file reports to strike their channel down. So there are people that, for some reason, when you're getting close to try to apply for that monetization, you're gonna run into a lot of issues with just unknown content creators trying to like flag you down. And in this space in YouTube, especially like unfortunately for black folks, they're going to try to find some type of way to make sure you stay down. When YouTube is a platform that anybody, you know, if they just come together, can make it come on. But what I'm starting to see is that, you know, unfortunately, the people who will be willing to tune into your channel, they'll tune in when there's drama related. Anything that has to do with, oh, I'm beefing this person or I'm beefing this woman, which is pretty like, weak whenever I feel whenever I go to YouTube and I'm seeing a man beef with a woman,
Man, come
and vice
on.
versa. Or like, two sisters going at it. It's just really sad,
Let
you
me
know?
ask
Mhm.
you this. Let me
hmm
ask you this. All of the chat, each one of you as panelists. What do you, and I want to give me briefly your thoughts. What are your thoughts on panels when people are going back and forth on panels? Men calling women outside of their name to win an argument, whether it's in the chat, because a lot of men feel like just because a woman opens up her mouth and has a hell of a debate, she's disrespectful. Some men feel like if you cut them off, even though they've cut you off before, right? But
Right.
but it doesn't apply to them, only to you. So now I can disrespect you because I feel, and that's the problem. I feel like too many people are in their feelings. But what are your thoughts when men who feel like they've lost an argument result to calling women out of their name?
Those are usually the type of men, right, that slides into a woman's DM before they start YouTube beefs with that woman, And I've seen it, and they show proven evidence of the real reason why some of these men be crying on these YouTube spaces, which I don't really call men at this point. You're just a bunch of little like nerds or boys or whatever that unfortunately maybe your real life doesn't really match the
Oh,
doctrine that you preach on YouTube.
okay. Miss Debbie, what do you think about men on panels that really don't appear to be too keen on women, but they're walking voluntarily onto these integrated panels, these mixed panels of women and men? And their thing is these ladies are trying to take over with their argument and their debate. And as a result, they result to calling women out of their names or taking on personal attacks outside of the argument. What are your thoughts about that?
It's wrong whether women do it to women or men do it to women or women do it to men. Uh, I've noticed that a lot of men in business, if a woman, they do business with a woman, they don't like it if they are providing the service to you and you are their client. And when you complain about something that's not being done right, they think that they can talk to you a certain way. And you have to get really equally rude with them and remind them, I'll stop payment on your check, which is
Oh,
it's just a mean thing to say. But
mm-hmm.
if I've just told you that the guy you hired is putting the wrong color grout on in my bathroom, and you're telling me no, I spoke to him, he's using the right color, and I'm like, I just looked at the bag of grout, it's not the color that's supposed to be there. And he's like, you need to stop and let these guys do what they're supposed to do. And I said, okay, look, I'll just stop that check that I gave you yesterday.
Oh,
then
I know
they
that's
got
right,
real
Miss
nice.
Debbie.
Right.
And that was
Ah,
I don't like to have to go there with somebody like that, but a woman has to get like really mean to let a man know, if she's doing business with a man, that you can't talk to me a certain way, because I have things, I have options. I'm the one who's paying for this, and you can't, I'm not just doing this because I'm nuts. I saw, I'm over here, I see the color that they're pouring the grout, I see it, it's wrong, and you're arguing with me and telling
yeah,
me that I'm wrong. No, so I think a lot of time men don't have a real problem with women being in charge, period. But I
that's
think
true.
I think it's a human thing though too. It's women do it to other women. People do it. It's people do it to each other.
I had a situation like that. Let me read this super chat real quick. Jeanette Stewart says the content creator that they're talking about in the audience is actually in the chat. I'm fair. I'm fair. If she would like to come up, let me drop the link in it. You're more than welcome to the audience if you want to come in and join the conversation and just offer your perspective on anything we're talking about tonight. It's an
Sheba,
open
I want
forum.
to ask you a question.
Okay, and Miss Unique, thank you, sweetie, for the 19. Thank you, girl. $20, girl. That's gonna be, girl. That's my B Taylor. That's our first round for happy hour.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank
Yes,
you.
Miss Unique. You're gonna get the yes. Thank you. But go ahead,
Yes.
B Taylor. What are your
I was
thoughts?
gonna ask you a question because me and you've been, in the past doing these panels in the manosphere. I done
Okay.
got cursed out. You see these men are bullying you. I know your audience are not really familiar, but
No,
they're
they don't know what's going on. I'll tell them a little bit, but go ahead.
okay. Yeah, and today it just I just stooped. I'm gonna stoop down. I did stoop down to their level, but my comment got deleted. But I let their ass know, who you fake as hell. They coming for you and trying to make fun of your appearance and
Oh
looks and
yeah.
stuff like
So
that.
let me explain. So I have really thin lips. Unfortunately, for a beautiful black queen, I don't have full lips. I have thin lips. They say shit like, "Where's your top lip?" Right here, beautiful, sitting wonderfully. I don't have full lips, right? But hey, isn't that crazy that black people will pick you apart like that and then say,
Mhm.
"Let's stand for," you don't even know me, and let's stand for the black community. Whether you got big lips, full lips, thin lips, they always find something to say. And
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. You
yeah.
know, go ahead, keep
I
going.
just wanted to ask, like, because I know I made a video 2 days ago or a couple of days ago. I think it was Monday or so, where I said I was leaving the manosphere. Basically, I'm not doing these panels anymore. It's just not good for my mental health. Like, I just feel like that's my time has come and kind of like gone, and I just want to focus on creating my own content. And I know you're building a palace here, so I just want to know, like, where is your stance? Like, are we expecting to see you on future Manosphere panels, or what we doing, girl?
So, one thing about a queen, she protects her kingdom. So my palace comes first, me and everything that I pour into my people. Not only that, my members only is popping, honey. And you can see them in the chat. And for any of my members that want to come up and talk about some of the things that we do together as members and in that private membership, I pour my all into my channel. And part of me pouring my all into my channel is I keep them away from the drama. Does that make sense? See, a
Yeah.
lot of people take bullshit to their platforms, and I think that's very disrespectful to your audience. And I
Hmm.
also think that's the quickest way to lose your audience if we're talking about from a business and a marketing perspective. Because here's the thing: you can only go so long with negativity. And when people get tired of that negative stuff that you're doing and the way you review negatively and all of the drama, guess what they're going to go looking for?
Yeah.
Soul food, something that feeds their soul, something that's really pouring into them, something that they can pour back into, because everybody is not coming on YouTube to fight. It's good, it's entertaining, but it's very heavy on the spirit.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
extremely heavy on the spirit. And for you to shit on your subscribers like that week after week, day after day, crazy thumbnails, that says a lot about you and what you're building, right? Which is why I see a lot of people get stuck at 1,000, 2,000, because you have nothing of substance to offer,
Yeah,
right?
that's
When
true.
we're talking about from a
Mhm.
business and a marketing perspective, that's the first thing. So can you see me in a manosphere? I'll go anywhere where I feel like I can add value until I can't.
Okay.
You mind if
Good.
I add on to this?
Sure.
So, from what we do, and Queen Sheba, you could like attest to this. Like, we try to create a safe space for anyone. We know,
Mm-hmm.
like, realistically, there's gonna be some trolls. There's gonna be somebody that's gonna screw up, their hatred for black women in particular, as far as the Mansfield guys. But it's up to us as content creators whether if we're going to let it ride or we're going to just like nip it in the bud. And I always believe, as a strong advocate, as far as squashing things before the flames start to erupt even larger. So if there's like any like conflicts, sorry, conflicts or anything that people feel, I'd rather just do it the old fashioned way, have a sit down conversation behind the scenes and talk about it. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they do get into their emotions so heavily that the first thing that they perceive or what they hear, they want to make a reaction video about it. I understand you
Yeah.
want to do it for viewership, and maybe that's how you probably get your subscribers up by crapping on someone else. But at the end of the day, once like all like the beef like dies down, or people probably start to mature, where your audience is going to be at when you start having different style of content. See, the
Yeah, I
thing is,
agree.
people don't understand that beef doesn't really last forever. You know what I mean? All that drama shit. I'm sorry, drama stuff that you're doing, like, dude, like, it's not gonna last.
I
And
agree.
people don't really understand that. So I know that if our channel to get like a lot of views because we don't want to get engaged into the same old rhetoric, the same old trendy topics, then I mean, hey, that's on them. We want to create like our own, support base where people come in for the right reasons. Because like YouTube already has a lot of negative stuff going on anyways, and we don't want to be a part of it.
Jeanette Stewart says immaturity on both sides. When you're cursing at somebody and calling people out of their name, I'm ad-libbing, it reflects that you struggle to communicate in a calm manner and clear head. I agree, Jeanette. I most certainly agree. Let me ask y'all this. What do you think about family? I had somebody mention my family, and I don't care how you mention them. I don't care if you use them as an example. I think that should be off limits, right? And here's why. What if I use your child as an example or your mom as an example? You see how if you stop it here, it doesn't get there? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they're saying, and let me just ask y'all that without giving too much information. Family, can somebody use your family as an example in their
Baby,
talking points?
you will get your ass cursed. That's the first class ticket to getting your ass cursed the hell out. and ever, because I know you ain't gonna never. That's one thing I would probably go to jail over is my kids. Like I don't play about them. And I've been on panels with these whack ass men saying, indirectly calling my kids bastards. And I'm
Whoa,
like,
whoa.
you calling my children bastards, and people are trying to justify it and saying, well, they are bastards because you're not married. And I'm like, okay, so can we say the word Negro now? Can white people call you Negro and classify you as not human because you were once property? Are we going off of a lot of definitions? Just because it was okay to say Negro as a black person back then doesn't make it right now. Just like you can't go around and call somebody kids a bastard because you wouldn't say that to my face. You say it online. That's the dangers of online shit talking. A lot of people who talking a lot of mess, they know they could talk it because they feel like you can't, they untouchable. They feel like you can't touch them because these people would never say these things in your face. They would never say that because they know the consequences with it. But they gain all of these balls behind a screen, and they don't got no face. You can't see what they look like. They'll talk about your looks while they sitting up there weighing 3,000 pounds. They want to talk about your face and your hair when they ain't got nothing on. They got a struggling beard, and they balding. Like, so you can't even see. All you see is an avatar, and it's not even a real photo. And they just be talking. They be freely feeling like they could talk about your family, and that's crazy. But that, like I said, you better come with it because I don't argue with somebody that's faceless because you're not even bold enough to show who you look like. You hiding. You
Well,
hiding.
Facts.
what
Yeah,
about
gotta
this?
jump into.
What about this? People that show their face and they bring up somebody else to do their dirty work. There's a content creator that bring up men to do her work for her. They allow men to sit on the panel, call women out their name, curse women out on their panel. There was the same live that I'm referring to. A man was in the chat, y'all, and pardon my language. He told me and B. Taylor twice he was going to beat the shit out of us. He trains at an MMA gym.
They
And
beat us
he was
up.
coming to where we live to beat, and that content creator
Wow.
allowed that to happen in her chat.
Yeah.
And people were saying, well, she didn't see it. She don't have to see it. That's the tone that she sets. You see what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
starts with who you are. Because I guarantee you, no matter who's sitting on my panel or first of all, when I should not drop the link if I don't want you up here. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. No matter what y'all say on this panel, if I don't like it, you got to go. If I feel,
Yeah.
but what I will not allow to happen is anybody to come in and threaten physical harm and tell you all, Debbie, M3, or B Taylor, that they're going to beat the shit out of you. That to me, that's just like, you're condoning that violent behavior. What are your thoughts on that, Debbie?
Oh,
I'm coming back to
Wow.
you, M3.
I
I'm coming back.
I can't imagine being threatened by somebody like that. That's scary. It's frightening and it's wrong. And the content creator needs to get them out of the chat. That shouldn't go on. It shouldn't be allowed on your page.
Okay. M3.
I don't even pay those type of, well, my content creators. I don't pay attention to those trolls like at all. But to be honest with you, anybody that says stuff like this, or even if a content creator is sending those trolls, the best thing to do, and this is why I'm going to start telling everybody, you got to start, filing reports, get documentation, start downloading certain videos that they have about you. If it's defamation of character, by grab a numerous amount of people and let them know, look, this person is not following with community guidelines. You need to shut the channels down. Like that's like
Yeah,
you gotta get
report
into
'em.
like in a mindset that what other people, what non-blacks would normally do, they would take you to court. Others would hire like certain like investigators to try to look for your location and find out where you stay at, rather if you're a troll or not. So when you're going to that degree, talking about family members,
Well, that
trying
background.
to make threats.
Who has on back? That's you, M3. Turn off that music.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
gonna
I'm
do
at the
a
gym,
you
but
gonna give her a
Yeah.
copyright.
Golly. Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave out because I know I'm at the gym, so I don't want like
Okay.
no noise.
Yeah, go ahead and get that summer
Thank you.
body right.
Don't get your workout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Someone's
See you
getting
later.
healthy.
That's where I need to be back at the gym.
Look, why they say everybody say that when you see somebody working out, they say when you're on your way to work and somebody's jogging, you say that's what I need to be doing.
Yeah, that because it's true. It's true.
Denise says, if I join a panel, I don't believe you should be abused for your opinion. Girl,
Yeah.
welcome to
Yeah.
YouTube.
You know what's
Welcome.
funny? You
Mhm.
know what's funny is that the guy that's like obsessed with us, Batman and Robin, he named us that. He's like
Oh.
he's so obsessed. What's funny is
And
he
he's
said-
married.
right. What's funny is that he said every time somebody's talking to us, he jumping right there getting his little draws in his booty hole. Like he just really just so excited. Like, oh God, somebody's talking about Queen Sheba and B Tyler. Like he just get his, I'm sorry, because that's how I imagine him. But he said something so interesting that, oh, they get so mad when I defeat their talking point. I'm sorry, is this a discussion or is this a debate? Because I thought that these panels were discussions, not who is the
Yeah.
winner on top. Who is
Yeah.
this is not a competition. We all come from different
It's a
walk-
competition, but you have to listen when people talk. It's a competition to him when I beat them. So now
Yeah.
you know when you're sitting next to him, if he said that his goal is to beat you, he's coming for one thing only, to win. And there is no rationalizing with a person like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, if I say something, right, why do you feel like you want to defeat my talking point? Like, Did you get a cookie? Did you get paid? Are you making money? Or does that make you sleep better at night? Like, oh God, I just defeated they talking point. And I just like, why can't I just say what I how I feel about the dating world without somebody jumping down my damn throat about it?
Well, I think most people forget on panels, your job is to talk to the audience, not to me. I don't need your expert advice because we're
Right.
all we're all experts, right? Like right now, I don't need Debbie telling me about marriage. Tell the audience about marriage. I tell the audience. I don't need to tell Debbie. We're all supposed to be working together to help the audience move past a certain point. And I call that like that's not a team player. If your job is to defeat your panelists,
Right.
what are you here for?
Why are you there? Yeah, because it's the ego feed. They're trying
And
to feed their ego because they're not really winning in real life. So they gotta win on online and with these talking points. Like you feeling like you dropping bars and people praising you. Because in your real life, ain't nobody praising you. Your wife ain't praising you, your kids ain't praising you, ain't nobody praising you, but you get some type of validation
some
when
people
everybody
do.
that is praising you. And it's just like and they're not praising you because you're talking to them and then drop you feel like I beat them at their talking point. You'll never beat me at a talking point because my experience is something that I experience. Like you can't defeat that. That's my journey
Oh,
and my
wow.
walk
That's
in life.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Jeanette Stewart says, stop giving someone else's opinion and voice power over your attitude, character, or credibility. Credibility. Govern thyself in truth. Listen, you girl, if I had a bell, I would ring it. I would ring it because that makes a lot of sense. The lovely Sherry says, what was the topic of discussion for that panel? So that panel, she was reviewing a show. No, she was reviewing a segment that she actually appeared on. Am I right?
It wasn't even about her. Nobody asked her to come up there. She wanted to come up there and be Captain Save-A-Ho. Sorry.
But the panel was, oh, I know what it was about. It was about black men that are mistreating black women on panels that they're on, the lovely Sherry. Black men that result to calling black women bitches and hoes to win an argument and or to degrade them or annihilate them. And it's called the manosphere. So they were talking about a particular panel that invite women up to basically verbally assassinate them when they feel like, quote unquote, the women have gotten out of place. Okay.
Wow.
That's what the topic was about. So this young lady reviewed the show. She actually came up, and I guess to redeem herself and to give herself a go at it, she broke it up into segments and she reviewed the show. She got to a point of the show where I sent to her, not to her, but to her, this is what she's thinking. I sent a super chat for the person to skip through a portion of the show that I thought was boring to get to a different part that I thought was funny. She didn't like that. So she began, without my knowledge, to use me as her talking point. And then I got DMs that not only were they using me as their talking point, they were also using my husband. She don't know my husband. She don't even know me. You see what I'm saying? So I pulled up because I don't believe in hearsay. The best way to get to the bottom of a problem is to ask the source. I came up to say, hey, what's going on? And just that's what happened. She shared her thoughts. I shared mine. At the end of the day, my loyalty is not for purchase. It's not for beg and barter. You know, I support who I support, period.
Yeah.
Nobody can twist my arm with that. You see what I'm saying? I assess everybody's character. And once I make a choice, I make a choice based on a lot. And a lot of people may not know how people move. I know how people move. But because of a super chat or how she perceived that, how I said a lot of people stay in their feelings. Let me tell you something. Don't ever make a permanent decision based on how you feel. That's one of the most detrimental mistakes that a lot of people make. Stop being in your feelings. You ruin a lot of opportunities. You ruin a lot of relationships. Guess what? Because that shit passes a year from now. Now look at all the collateral damage you've caused because of the way you felt. And not only that, take accountability. So this girl felt like because I sent a super chat that that was symbolic of me standing for something, but never took into consideration that she hosted 3 panels about me and allowed men to come up and talk about me, talk about my husband whom they don't know. And you expect me to be loyal to you, but without bringing y'all too much drama. Do you see how people operate? Stay
Mhm.
out your feelings because it's one-sided. It's always one-sided because you only see what you see, right? And most people cannot look at themselves objectively and say, well, hold up, I did get this shit started. And even though I deleted the videos and the audience don't even know what I allowed to happen on my channel about her, I'm going to allow it. I'm going to pretend it didn't happen. And I'm just going to start from this moment. That's what I say. You're doing a disservice to your following.
I also don't like people who don't stand on their word. Like, I just feel like if you a person who's like straddling the fence, you're a person that cannot be trusted. Because you'll say whatever you gotta say to get out of trouble with one person, then you say what you gotta say to the next person. Like, you just manipulating the whole situation because you want to remain not even balanced. Because balance is I'm telling you what it is and I'm telling the other person what it is. That's balance. That's standing on your word. That's not being moved by whoever because of opportunity. That's fence straddlers. They the most deceitful, manipulative people ever. And once I see you as that, I can't rock with you. I cannot rock with you like that because I can't trust you, because I know that you will never tell you'll say one thing to me and then to the other person they'll go and manipulate them like, oh well, I can't, they just cannot be, they too flip-floppy. They have to flip-flop because they not standing on their own word. They not standing in their own truth. And that's why they just be so conflicted with being pressured by the audience. Because one thing my audience is not going to do is tell me how I should feel about something. If I feel this way, I don't care if it's 1,000 people telling me, oh, I don't care about you and how you feel. If that's how I feel, that's how I feel. I don't care. Stand on your word. Don't try to backtrack because now
Yeah.
you're feeling the heat.
Well, a lot of times people can't. Like, it's almost like I have to behave a certain way because of the things that I've done in private. But Debbie, what are your thoughts when it comes to personal attacks and arguments, utilizing people's families, things of that nature? What are your thoughts?
Well, personal attacks is what happens when you get in your feelings, when you're angry. I think it comes from a place of anger, and anger can be useful, but it also can be very destructive. I found that in out personally for myself. I've struggled with my temper, and it's caused me a lot of harm. And I've learned, that when I'm real emotional and real upset about something, and real upset with someone about something that I have, then and I care about that person, I have to stay away from them and not talk to them until I calm down. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then when I calm down, then I can see things that in a way that when I was so emotional, I couldn't see it. I
Yeah.
couldn't see the forest for the trees. But then when I'm able to calm down, then I see things that I need to see that I couldn't before, and come from a better place, with, and it's just, for me, it's important with people I care about. I'm retired and I'm at home and I'm just with my family. But I think kids are off limits. You do not attack anybody's kids. Kids are off limits, but even family. But yeah, when it becomes personal, then you've lost everything, because you're not. It's not about what you're trying to get across. It's about, you're just trying to attack someone.
Yeah. And I feel bad for the audience, right? Because it's cool. I mean, I tuned in to listen to stuff and then I'm like, I can't. Like, I got to get out of here, right? And
Yeah.
here's the thing about, you say, well, how do you stay focused? Let's just say you're not a content creator and it's something at the job or it's just friendships. Y'all, you got to pick a side. And when I say pick a side, not a person's side. You got to pick a side of your spirit,
Mm-hmm.
your well-being. I could say a lot. I could come back hard. hard. And I think a lot of people think because people, so the most vocal to me is always the weakest. The
Mm.
one that throws the insults, somebody said they saw a thumbnail about me. The ones that are
Oh
most
yeah.
busy, the ones that are most busy in the mess, let them be. That's what they do. That's the side they belong on. So when you see that, whether it's YouTube, in your personal life, your professional life, your family life, right? Because it happens in real life to all, let them be. But listen, I'm telling you, a lot of times they'll keep going at you until they pull you over to that side. Now you
Yeah.
dirty. Now you're dirty.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying dirty, your soul, your spirit is dirty. Now
Hmm.
you just like them and you can't talk. You see what I'm saying? You can't say nothing to me. You just like that. You did what I did. So you
Yep.
really have to be careful how you allow people to engage you. Because one thing about it, baby, you ain't got to go to every party you invited to.
Oh man.
You ain't got to go to every party you invited to. Just sit
or,
back. Let them have it.
or every
Yeah.
fight,
Or what, Miss Debbie?
or every fight.
Or every
And it
fight.
takes a
That's
lot of
what I
strength.
meant. That's what I
It
meant.
it
Like the
takes a
Yeah.
lot of
fight.
strength to not say
Oh,
anything. It takes a lot of strength to not say anything. People really don't know what content creators really go through. It's so easy looking from the outside, like, oh, don't even say nothing. But when you see your face on a thumbnail of somebody else's video and somebody is breaking down your character, they're breaking down who you are as a person and they're completely wrong. You feel like compelled to be like, what you're saying is BS. That's not true. And what you're saying is a lie. You lying on me, making up stuff, you making up scenarios about me, like you making up situations about me, like you making assumptions about my family. Like that's
But
triggering when
what
you're
can you do? So when you think about celebrities, if you go on their page, I always tell people behave, take on the persona of where you're headed, not where you are.
mm,
Behave like where you're headed, not where you are. If you
that's
go to
hard.
yeah, if you go to celebrities pages, people say everything in a book to them and about them. Do you see them responding? Most times, no.
Well,
Not
it
all the time.
depends.
I'm saying
Yeah.
most times they don't. Now, you may catch them on a good day when they're human and they got time, and they may, but most times, not really. And it's hard. So if it's coming at you, imagine what's coming at them and how hard it is for them to step back.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to do the same thing. They're no different than you, the celebrities, because of the amount of money that they make. But you got to build up that mental muscle. If you're gonna be successful as a content creator, as a whatever you're doing, you got to build up a mental muscle of where you're headed, not where you are.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. And like me working in a news business, I'm used to people talking about me. But then, like, I don't know, it's something about YouTube where somebody's just like completely getting like, it's like you see so like dozens of people talking about your character and they're wrong. And it's like,
Prototype dad, hello, hello. Prototype dad is in the
oh,
house.
hey. Yeah, but I don't know. I sometimes I at first when it first happened to me, like, and I was getting posted everywhere, and like people was making like hours long videos and live streams about me. That really bothered me so bad because I wanted to be like, "You're lying. That's not true. That's not what happened. You're lying." Like I wanted to go in defense mode. I wanted to go out fighting, but you know what? I had to be. It's more. You have more strength when you don't say anything because it's so easy to say something. It's so easy to fight back. But once I realized it's nothing that I can say because it's a perception that you want to
Yeah.
believe about me. It doesn't matter what the truth is. It's all about the perception and the angle that they want to
It's not
see.
even perception. It's as simple as I don't like you.
Yeah, that's true.
How about that? Like it's
Yeah.
sometimes people just don't like you. And you've got to be okay with that. If
Yeah.
you depending on where you headed. That's why I
Right.
would say, where are you headed? Like there's a lot of times I want to respond, I don't. Because I have to tell myself, where are you headed with all of this?
But you know
You,
what?
and
A
I
lot
have to
of
say,
people
no, I
do
have
be
to say,
like,
you want to waddle with them or you want to stay this way and keep getting the money that you make and keep being successful, keep
yeah,
getting invited to syndicated radio shows, stuff that I don't even put on YouTube, right? I would be a fool to share all of my successes on YouTube, right? With the
yeah.
people hiding in the bushes. Prototype dad, welcome to the
Hey,
stage. Yes, you
hey.
finally caught a live. We got We got another man on the panel. Miss
Yeah.
Debbie, you see him, Miss Debbie?
I do.
What's going on, ladies?
Prototype
Hey.
Dad, welcome to the stage. What's on your mind, King?
Nothing. I was
About
just checking
everything
in
we're
on
talking
y'all.
about.
I was just checking in on y'all. I just got done working actually, so and I seen y'all was on live, so I was like, let me see what these ladies is up to.
Yeah, we're just talking about YouTube, the drama amongst content creators, Black content creators. Why can't we all just get along? It's enough room for everybody at the top. We're
Man,
talking about people striking people's pages. We're talking about
Got her
men, the
channel
integrated
taken
panel. Go ahead,
down.
Miss Debbie.
Got her channel taken down. Not just a strike. Her channel was taken down
Mm.
by her
And they got
sister.
receipts.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're
Go
fine.
ahead, please continue.
They're also talking about panels where it's mixed panels, right? Men and women. And I think a lot of the conversation have been the rhetoric is, well, women, if you can't take it, don't come over here. But
Mm.
also men, stop inviting them. If you don't want women on these panels, stop extending the invitation. And if you do extend the invitation, you need to have a level of respect, right? You
Yeah.
cannot extend the invitation for women to come on your panel and other men are mad because women are here and we
Right.
don't
yeah,
want them here. Go
you
ahead.
know
What are your
that
thoughts?
happens in real life though. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Mm.
Like, there's times where like, oh, it's supposed to be a fellas night, and somebody bring their girl or something like that, and they're like, oh, why you bring the girl with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's I guess men want a space where they can vent and lash out and say all the stuff they want to say. Um, a lot of dudes are just angry, man, and just can't deal with the failures of getting the woman they want or even the life they have. You know what I'm saying? So they just need somewhere to vent and say whatever they want to say. But it
Mm.
doesn't make for very constructive conversation a lot of times.
No, it just sounds like whining.
Yeah, for the most part, right? And I hate that because I'm a solver, right? So I'm like, what are we doing about it? Kind of a person.
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
So it's not about necessarily us whining and complaining. I'll let you complain once or twice. After that, I'm like, man, what you doing? Like, you know what I mean? So like, even my friends, if they complaining to me about their wives or something, I'm like, well, why don't you do what you got to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you keep complaining about your wife?
So
Right.
let me ask you this real quick before I welcome Anthony Loftus to the stage. Um, if you could solve it, if a man came to you to advice, because I'm pretty sure you're a man that probably don't speak to somebody regarding what they should do unless they ask you, what would you say? What would be your solution?
I mean, I would just tell them how I would handle it. It depends on whatever it is, but I would tell them what I would do. You know what I mean? So, and I don't always. Sometimes, no, I have a problem with giving unsolicited advice most times. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I get tired of people complaining about stuff.
What advice would you give to women like myself, women like B. Taylor, that have trekked to the manosphere and have had, I feel like, been able to debate very well without calling people out of their names? And then you have men that result to, you know what? Since I can't beat you, I'm going to insult you. I'm going to talk about your kids. I'm going to talk about your husband. Not only men, women. What would be your advice to women that have to go up against that type of energy?
Well, I follow a lot of you guys.
Mhm.
So
So you seen all the drama?
yeah.
So what would be your advice?
Well, I would say, man, there was one you was going back and forth with Lucky the other day, and I had a lot of stuff to say about it, but it kind of like lost me. But I kind of felt like neither one of y'all would just say, "I'm sorry, my bad," and you wasn't hearing her, and she wasn't hearing you.
Mm.
Uh, so I would say, for you, Queen, is be the queen, right? Is be that guiding, that guiding light for for the younger ladies on the panels. You know what I'm saying? To make sure they they respect you as the queen mother or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, B Taylor, I mean, you're entertaining to me, so.
Why am I what?
Anthony, you next.
But how am I just entertain? I want to know that because I feel like I kind of
Because
take that as like when people say like, "Am I a joke or something?"
I mean,
It's
because
entertaining.
it's kind of like you're choosing not to be rational on purpose. That's
Mm.
what I get most times out of you. And I was like, she does too well for herself to be this irrational. I think she's really just there must be something going on behind the scenes where they're telling her to be irrational. Because
No.
it's like a setup every time. Like you going on these other channels, it's like you're like, are you purposely falling right into the trap or what? Like,
Wait,
so
what
that's
do you mean like irrational? Because I feel like I'm passionate about what I say, and then I feel like I also got to come in like fighting, because if I don't, I'm being overtalked, I'm being
I mean,
interrupted,
I'm not saying they
and
bring you on the panels,
hmm
certain panels, not Crew's cool. You know what I mean? It's all.
yeah,
I guess it seems like all family over there.
yeah,
It is.
But when I see you on other panels, it's like they bring you in to be that prototypical. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
He's saying don't play into it.
Yeah, like, and so I'm thinking it's a part of the entertainment, right? Because they know if you're on there, you're going to bring that irrational side to it. I'm like, well, she must be doing this on purpose.
I just don't like the word irrational, like, because I feel like I make good points when I'm talking.
Well, let me say this. Hold on. Jeanette Stewart. Y'all think about that. Jeanette Stewart says, I love that the men are joining the panel and that they're respectful. And with that being said, Anthony Lottis, welcome to the stage.
Hello, Queen, and I'm actually happy to see
Hello.
another guy up here.
Yes.
I'm just
The
saying.
men have been popping in tonight. Like you're the third one. So we just kind of shooting up, tonight, Anthony, just talking about what's on our mind. It's a very informal conversation. It's almost like a late night call in. So feel free to share what's on your mind, what you think about everything that's going on in the world of hot topics, news, YouTube, anything you want to share.
Well, first of all, I'm tired of YouTube right now. There's too much going on in these YouTube streets. I'm tired. I need a mental break for these past 2 days on YouTube. I really came in where you all just said there's enough room for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I did my video a while back on saying there's enough room for all of us. And like I'm saying once again, I mean, I can respect other content creators. I may not agree with everything, but I can respect what you're doing. We can make money. We just can't make money together. And I'm always going to keep it that way. Um, it's weird because for the past few days you've been watching other. I don't know if you've been watching other content creators, but basically, well, yesterday it seemed like everyone had something to say about this one content creator.
Oh. We just heard about it.
Um,
She popped up in the chat she's under a different profile tonight, and she said that everything is not true. But we opened up the stream for her to come up, but she probably didn't feel like it. But go ahead.
I didn't want to say too much, and I'm gonna say something maybe tomorrow, whenever if I do decide to go live or whatever. But you know how I think I shared with everyone said that my mom called me on Valentine's Day at 6:01 p.m. and she told me, she said, "Real," she said, "God told me to tell you to pray." She said that she told me, she said something big and something major is about to happen to you, and he told me to tell you to pray because he's about to guide you into the direction that you need to go to. Now, keep in mind, my faith was not strong. I kind of just gave up on praying, so I'm like, okay, this got to be serious. And as soon as I got off the phone,
Mhm.
I went, and literally every door has opened. And when I say the spirit of discernment has been like literally on 100 with me, it's been really on 100. And it's amazing how all of this stuff has came out. It took other people to do something. I mean, I have stories, I have receipts, but it speaks a lot when you just remain quiet and don't
I
say anything.
agree.
And everything that was shown to me, even from the actions of that individual, I didn't have to say anything, but something kept telling me to, hey, back off,
Mm-hmm.
don't say anything. And literally, how many bloggers literally came up and provided so many receipts of it? But the whole thing is like, what was the point of it though? When there's room for all of us, you don't have to come out and be messy and try to tear somebody else down or strike somebody account or whatever. Because a lot of people don't know, when you strike a person account, it's going to tell you who did it. It give you two options. I don't know if you know about it, but when you strike
Mm-hmm.
somebody's account, YouTube will basically give you 7 days to remove the video, depending on what option the person choose. Like they'll give you 7 days to remove it, or you can strike their account, and it's going to tell you if you strike this account, it's going to give your email address to say who did it.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Let me ask you this, because you said, based on what your sister said, and I'm asking all of y'all this. You said sometimes it's just better to step back and don't say nothing.
Mhm.
I've been struggling with that this week. It's hard, like I know it's the right thing, but it's like it's because your ego. Let me not say instinct. Your ego will say, "Go out there, defend yourself, say this, show them that they ran up on the wrong person," and da 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 da. But deep down inside, I know that's the wrong thing to do, right? Based on where I'm headed. Now, to all of
Mhm.
the panelists, do you struggle when feeling offended to stay silent? Yes or no? B. Taylor.
Oh, y'all already know. I'm a
I know I do.
You're gonna
Yeah,
know. It's very hard for me to like like I said, there's power in your silence, right? And
Mhm.
what I've been trying to do is when I'm triggered, I know when I'm at work when I'm triggered because I used to check motherfuckers at work. But now I'm like, no, I don't want to set that environment. So I try to like refrain myself and just kind of okay, why are you triggered, why is and I just kind of stay silent because I feel like there's power in your silence because it's so easy to say something, right? But what if I actually don't say anything? There's more power, and I feel like a sense of strength when I do that. But yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm still working.
Debbie.
Well,
Debbie, is it when you felt offended? Was it hard for you to stay silent?
oh yes, it it is very hard. Yeah, I
And Deb,
don't
I'm
always
sorry.
succeed, and
Go
I
ahead, Debbie.
might fail more times than I do succeed at at remaining silent. But I agree with the other panelists, the other beautiful young woman panelist here. What she just said, I don't know her name, but
B.
what she
Taylor.
just
Thank
Taylor,
you.
hi
Yeah.
Taylor, what she just said about silence being powerful, that resonates with me. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Prototype Dad. What are your thoughts? Stop.
Um,
You on panels, you host your own talks about family and children and being a father and a husband. I'm sure you have come up against the grain where you've kind
Actually,
of felt like,
we haven't gotten any but we're not that kind of show. We're solution based, so
oh,
people only come to us, to see how to be a better man. So there's really no slap back. But no, silence means agreement. So if you don't speak, if you don't say something, you don't gotta pop off. There's a way about saying how you feel about it. But men are tied, like if you're silent about something, then you're letting this happen. It's kind of like how people blame white people for being quiet. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, if you didn't say anything about your friends being XYZ, then you
mm,
right there with them. So I mean, I think that it's a time and a place to be silent, and there's a time and a place to speak up. You know what I mean? And you need the discernment to know when to do what. If people were just like saying whatever, then I don't really care if they have no value to me in my life or whatever. But if it has something to do, I don't want to make anything about money. But if it has something to do with my career or how I want people to see me, as far as the people I care about, no, you got to speak up to that. Or even if you're in a bad peer group, and you know what I'm saying, and your peers is talking about doing something wild, if you don't say nothing, then you're in agreement to whatever they might have did. So there's a time to speak up and there's a time to be quiet. But you don't
so
gotta
was
pop off ever though. Like, you know what I
so
mean?
was I
So
right to speak up the other night when I pulled up and I was like, hey, you're using my family as a talking point. I don't care if
um
it was a small example.
yeah,
So
but yes, you were right to pull up, right? And to try to address that. But you weren't listening to her and she wasn't listening to you, so it ended up being pointless. You know what I'm saying? I think you had to come in and control the situation, show a little bit more um what is it, stern, or not even being stern, but just not being so emotionally switched or triggered, to hear her
gotcha.
out. And I know you were just trying to come up and defend your family, and all you was looking for was the apology and the agreement of don't mention my family, and for her to be like, all right, cool. But she had a point she wanted to make. like I say, neither one of y'all were listening to each other.
Gotcha.
And I think you have to do what you have to do to get what you want, right? And doing it the way you were doing it wasn't going to get you what you wanted.
I don't think I cared in that point. I think the point was it's time to go to war, because now we're talking about a segment of my life or segment of your life that should not be included ever, especially if you don't know them people. And I don't think I came in with understanding, because at that point is no understanding when it comes to my family. I just need you to know it needs to stop. And granted, I'm listening. I receive everything you're saying for the future, should that happen again. But in that moment, I was not trying to negotiate.
Then you were
And you
wrong.
felt that. You felt that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got where you were coming from, but it's not you want to get what you need done. That like it's solution based, right? So how are you going to get your solution? And the way you were going about it wasn't the way it was going to
Gotcha.
happen.
And I received that.
But it was already a messy setup with the other person as well, like bringing on certain people that don't like us or have a vendetta against us or had problems with us in the past. And now these men are on there talking about their past experiences with us. And then they start talking about a family member, like, and then we weren't invited to that panel. Like, they were invited, they pulled up. So I think it was just kind of like walking into the lion's den.
And then it's like
And some
almost
men
like
kinda
this
like,
isn't your first time doing this.
Well, I'll
Like,
say
come on.
this. As far as the people that were brought up on the panel, you don't know them folk, right? But y'all do have an ongoing relationship with the girl that was hosting it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all are always constantly on the panels together, and you know what I'm saying, y'all have an ongoing partnership, whatever. I don't know
Association.
whatever it is, right? Y'all have an ongoing. So that's who I would address. There was this one time, Noriega would tell this story. Y'all know who Noriega is, right?
A rapper.
Yeah. He was told a story about him and Jay-Z, and how like a rumor was going on, and Jay-Z approached him about it and was like, now you know I don't believe XYZ, or this is how I am. Why would you go out there and repeat that? And he was like, but why wouldn't you tell the people that? He was like, I don't care what those people think, but you're my friend. I care what you think.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying y'all friends, but y'all have that, like, look, you address her as is, like, look, this is what I don't find this appropriate. And then she could have been like, cool, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to figure out how you're going to get the solution that you want and do what you have to do to get that.
I think I want to go to Anthony, but I think my frustration was, hey, lady, this is like your third or fourth time mentioning my family or allowing someone else to mention my family on your platform. First 2-3 times I let it slide. And my grandmother used to always tell me, like, I know you said speak up. You know what? You make a good point. Silence is like giving permission, right? I didn't say
Silence is
anything the first
agreement.
time.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
say nothing. You agree.
Yeah, didn't say anything the second time, didn't say anything the third time. The fourth time, I'm like, I'm pulling up. But Anthony, I'm sorry, I got a little derailed. That's my fault. What are your
Queen, before
thoughts?
you ask
Remaining
me
silent.
Queen, before you ask me that question, what panel are y'all talking about?
Oh my
I
God.
don't know. Do y'all go to a different channel? I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, yes. So I don't listen, Prototype Dad, everybody. I do not. So we're also talking about like what you expose your audience to. I don't expose my audience to those panels that I go to. I keep it on the cool. It's in a completely different space of YouTube.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
I'll tell you later.
Now, what was you going to ask me now?
So when it comes to silence, moments that you felt triggered and or offended, was it hard for you just to sit back and just walk away when you say you're having to use a spirit of discernment?
I struggle with that now, but I would say the older I get, it's becoming easy. It become easy for me because at this point, like I said, I'm tired of explaining myself to people who are committed to misunderstanding me. So no matter what I say, they will always find something wrong. And like the Prototype say, it's a time and place, but I feel like the older I get, the more I'm becoming like, okay, whatever. If that means I'm agreeing to it, so be it. I mean, you one less person I have to talk to.
I love it. I love it. That's like clear, precise, decisive. And they say great leaders and CEOs make quick decisions. Successful people in corporate America, the difference between them and their subordinates is they're able to make very quick and fast decisions. What do y'all think about that? Are you a quick decision maker?
I am.
yeah,
I
but
am.
not, yeah, but when I'm only when I get like I battle with myself at times when I get frustrated and I'm triggered. That's the only time where I'm like, I don't think I make the best decisions, or I could have strategically done something a little bit better, but they're all like lessons learned, right?
So would you call yourself a quick decision maker? If you had to say yes or no, what would be your answer? If you had to fill in that little bubble.
Yeah, because at my job I have to be quick, but it just depends what it is. I don't know. I think I'm a quick decision maker when it comes down to my professional life. I can get it done, and I know what's important and what to tackle, and but like what I'm gonna say next, no.
Yeah. What about you in the chat? Are y'all quick decision makers when it comes to making decisions? Are you quick? Are you precise? Yes or no? Debbie, you're up next.
Well, I'm not sure how to answer that, but what you were saying about the successful corporate businessmen, I worked for 21 years as a staff, as a member of the staff in large corporate law firms. Corporations were our clients, wealthy businessmen were our clients. And I didn't really like or respect a lot of the people that I worked for,
Mm-hmm.
and their attitude there was that because I didn't have as much formal education, I wasn't as important, really. I mean, it was I didn't respect. I respected some of the people that I worked with and them for, but a lot of them I didn't. So I don't know. To me, corporate America is just I was I wish I hadn't spent 21 years working for people that I didn't really like. And I feel like I really wasted a lot of my life. I mean, so I don't know. I make decisions. It depends on what the decision is on, really, for me. It depends on what you need to get all the information you need to make the right decision. But if I decide that someone is toxic in my life, I will cut them out. Even if I love them, I will know that it's the most healthy thing for me is not to be around that person, and I will, even if they're family, I will cut them out, not see them anymore.
I mean, I agree
So,
with what's her name, Debbie, I think, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with her with cutting people out. Like I used to be able to you know, keep people around and deal with. I used to do the mental gymnastics. Like if I know somebody's like retarded, we'll say for the shorter, if I know they don't function well, I would still try to understand them. I don't have that anymore, so I'm a little bit more short leash with that. Um, as far as am I quick to make decisions? I am, but I wouldn't champion it, because I only make those quick decisions because I feel like I can handle anything that comes along the way. But I'm not saying it's always the best decision. I'm just kind of confident that whatever comes up, I'll be able to get through it.
Does
Not him,
that come with
not
time? Go
using
ahead,
the
B.
R
Taylor.
word. I said not him using the R word. I was like, wait, what? Now go
I
ahead.
knew what he meant. I
Yeah.
knew what he meant.
If people are irrational, like you know what I mean, and that's just how they are. Like some people just don't grow. You know what I mean? And if you're going to stay there, then I don't stay there anymore. Like I'm focused on moving forward. So
Me
I
too.
I used to try to like understand. You know how somebody you got this one cousin that always pop off at every like find something wrong with every situation. Like I don't entertain those kind of people anymore. Those people that just can't be satisfied or just unhappy about whatever's going on. I don't have time for that.
Mother J says, me too. I will drop people like a bad habit and wish them well. I don't even wish them well. I'm a Scorpio. You got to go.
Oh,
Like,
I'm a
I'm quiet
Scorpio
with it.
moon. And Scorpio was known for that, cutting people. We can just do that. I mean, cut
Yeah.
people off when we determine that someone is unhealthy for us. We're we can bid them adieu. We might sometimes miss them, but we know that we're better off without them than with them.
Yeah. Quick question for YouTube content creators. We're talking about all the drama that's happening in YouTube. I always like to try to, I mean, I'll say what I need to say, but I'm not saying everything I'm holding back just because I need to do that. But when you think about how you move on YouTube, things that you could do differently, and if you knew then what you know now, what's something you would have done differently? I want to give y'all a couple of seconds as you're growing your platform, different people you've had on, different shows you've gone on, just different topics, maybe some beefs you've had, arguments, debates. If you knew then what you know now, and Miss Debbie, yours will have to apply to real life because you're not a YouTube content creator, I don't think.
No, I'm not.
What would you do differently? Is there one incident that you just like, damn, I dropped the ball. I could have handled that differently. Who want to go first?
I mean, I'll kind of answer that, because it's quick for me. I haven't had any incidents yet, and I haven't learned anything negative yet that I would do differently. The only thing, I got to make sure I'm not tempted to follow trends. You know what I mean? Like I want to keep my content kind of pure and genuine about um, how we're serving men, how we're serving the community, and what the purpose of our channels for. You know what I'm saying? So just not trying to fast track it and jump on trends, like doing reaction videos and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay away from any media geared stuff and just strictly talk about life as a father and how we need to move. So that's the only thing. I'm just staying on task with that.
All right, Miss Debbie.
Wow, he really I when he said the word service, it really hit me that this platform, people could use this YouTube platform to serve, yeah, in service. I I think that that's what people are looking for. That's what the subbies are looking for. They're looking for someone that resonates with them, someone that they feel that they can trust, that's truthful, that they can relate to and share things and grow with. And I mean, Sheba, your channel, I fairly new subby to you, but I mean, you've just blown me away with your insight and your intuition and your the way you can think and articulate things and bring light. And I've noticed that. See, we see that, we respond to it. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of regrets about the way that I've handled a lot of situations. I'm 69 years old, and I never had a lot of patience, and I've always had a quick temper, and it's brought a lot of misery to me. I've learned to be more patient and to uh, wait until I'm calm to come back to someone, especially if it's someone I really care about, because I don't want to damage that relationship. And I know that until I'm calm, I can't really, I can't solve anything, or approach things right. I don't know, so yeah, you learn. Everybody's got a journey, and you learn from your journey. The things you hopefully you learn as you get older, the things that you did wrong, and why they were wrong, and how you can not do that anymore. I mean, that's some people seem like really low vibrational and hard to reach, maybe
Yeah.
even impossible to reach. And I mean, I'm certainly no, I mean, we're all human. But that that really resonates. I think that's a wonderful thing that people use the YouTube platform to serve other people. That just hits me in my heart real strong.
Prototype dad. You really made an impression on Miss Debbie. And that's beautiful.
I'm glad. I'm glad. That's kind of what we're here to do. It's not it's not all about dragging each other down. You know what I mean? That's one thing I hate that. that men are just dragging women down, and the back and forth. What is it? The gender war thing going on?
Yeah.
That's so corny. You know what I mean? That's one of the things B. Taylor always makes me laugh about when she talks about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Hold on, BT. Let me read this real quick. It says, Jeanette Stewart says, trust your intuition, Scorpio life. And look, y'all, let me ask y'all something. Is this an insult? Because I'm slow with insults. You got to like directly insult me for me to get it.
No, I don't think that's an insult.
I don't even know what that means.
Scorpio people can be very. It's
No,
a
this
water-
right
No,
here.
he's
No,
talking about the
this.
comment. We don't know, so let's just keep
All
it
right.
moving.
All right. B. Taylor, you're up next.
I would say to not get so defensive and not take things personal. But it's hard to say that when you're on a panel full of men who have done things and clipped you up and posted you on their personal pages. Maybe other people are not familiar with it, but I've seen it where they were throwing shade at me and they were talking about me. And other people would be like, "Oh, I see that you got B. Taylor." And they'll be like, "Yeah." And I'm like, dang, here I was not trying to take, you know and listen to them, and they thought it was a gotcha moment. So for me, it wasn't so for entertainment. It was like my defense mechanism was up because I didn't trust those people, especially certain men, because I always felt like I was such an easy target, right? Because I am easy target. So for me it was the defensiveness, but it's like I don't feel like I was given a space to not feel defensive because I knew what they were doing like after the show. Like, oh, this about to be a clip moment. Oh, I know they about to title this, like, because the moments where I am quiet and I don't say anything and I'm not being defensive, I'm getting clipped up and I'm being like um schooled, or oh, so and so schools B. Taylor, grills B. Taylor, and like I'm like, all right. So for me it's like I do wish that I could listen a little bit more, but those certain panels I don't regret how I came in because there were at points where I was quiet and trying to listen and not being defensive. But if you offend me all the time, I mean, what do you expect me to not be defensive when you speak about certain things?
So I would ask the question: why'd you go if you didn't trust them?
Why did I go?
Oh,
Because it's not
good
all of
one.
them. And they're not the people, they're like the little minions, right? They're not the big dog. They're not the people that's actually running the show. So, like, if the P, for example, like, I'm cool with JR. I don't have no problem with JR, right? But
Hmm.
it's certain people that's like the class clowns. Like Bruiser, for example. He's so nice outside of these panels. But once he gets on these panels, it's like he's like the class clown that wants to fit in with the big kids and impress certain people and have those moments to get off of you, right? And I had a one-on-one conversation with him off the panel, like, yo, you really tried to dig at my kids and say something. And at first he tried to act lost about it. And then he had to own up to it and go, yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about. And like he agreed to not talk about my kids. But it was the fact that I had to like even have that conversation outside of the panel, because it's like you don't y'all are so supportive like off these panels, but once we get on a panel, it's like wartime, right? And at first it could be fun, right? I'm not gonna lie and say it was all miserable all the time. Like it was fun,
Hmm.
having discussions and feeling like I made my point and I said it in a way, or we laughing about certain things, but then it just became toxic where it was just like, you
Y'all
know
not laughing with me. Y'all laughing at me.
yeah, y'all, yeah, exactly. And y'all are really, really like degrading me and talking about my children, and like that's like, wow, oh, like this is turning into something else.
Hey, Joy Smiles. I see you. She says, hello at Queen Sheba, panelists in chat. Late, but I'm here. Look, my people stay up the palace. Y'all supposed to be taking care of the court and getting everything ready for the royal awakening in the morning. I didn't know y'all stayed up this late. And Miss Debbie, 69 and up late.
Thank you.
I'm retired. I can sleep late.
You sleep late?
Yeah, I'm retired, so So my hours are my own now.
But yeah, I would just be wary of just not responding. If you're going, go in the lines, then you know what I'm saying. Know which lines are yours. You know what I'm saying. So and just kind of stay away from those guys who say
Yeah,
whatever. You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? You just got to keep that peaceful space. I know that's not kind of what you do.
Well, it is on my channel, right? But also, I felt a sense of like, I don't want it to look like I ran away, like I was scared and I couldn't hang with the big dog. So that's why I would come back for it because I like debating. But when it gets personal and insulting, that's when it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, there's nothing wrong with a good debate and nothing wrong with a little back and forth and a little entertainment here and there. And sometimes I do say some stuff where I'm like, I'm gonna just troll for a little second, but it's all like fun. It's not.
See how you admitted to that? You
No,
see
I'm
that?
no, but I've said that
yeah.
before.
You
I've
got
said,
come on, B Taylor. Come on, you got to set. Come on,
look,
accountability. Come on, just a little
look,
bit.
I troll sometime where I'm like, because, and I'm just joking, and I do that on the cruise season because I feel a little bit more. It's more like family over there, and I can
Right.
do that and just kind of get some giggles and laughs and get everybody riled up a little bit. Like I think the whole panel at one time was like, again, remember, Steve, the whole panel was like, no, and I was like, no, wait a
Oh
second, like
yeah, about
it,
yeah, I remember. It was about so if a man took you out, this is what it was about. So and then I want to talk about one of my regrets, but if a man took you out, ladies, or just a person took you out 3 times, they pay for everything. They're picking you up, they're paying for valet. Y'all get to the restaurant, and they're not cheap neither, right? Y'all walk into the nice restaurant, you got like a 15-minute wait for your table. They're walking you to the bar, getting you a nice glass of champagne or old fashioned, whatever you drinking. They're doing this and then you go, and then you get your own appetizer, not even splitting one. Sometimes you got to split one, but they're saying, no, you get yours, I get mine. And then you get an entree, and then you get dessert and another glass of wine. Oh, come on. They do this 3 times. And normally most people go out when it's new, either every 2 weeks or every week. The question the panel posed to B. Taylor was on that 4th time, which
oh
on that 4th
my
time, would you take him out? She said no.
god, I
He
did.
ain't my man. We said, whoa, hold up. Would you
It
at least
depends. It
would you
depends.
at least put $5 down on the tip for the food? B. Taylor said no. A woman should not be spending money on a man, and that's her hard working money.
Look,
Hold on. In the audience, was she wrong?
Yes.
1 for yes, 2 for no. Panelists, Miss Debbie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've been married for 30 years, so it's been a long time since I've dated. So this is, I
But if
don't
you were
even know
dating your
how that
husband,
works. I really don't. Um, I just wouldn't know how that works. I would say it would depend on how they felt about each other. Sometimes women want to pay half because or they do now. I know some of the young. My daughter is 37, and when she was dating her now husband, he would get it one time, and then she would say, "No, this time I'm gonna get it." You know, I guess the people involved. I don't know.
well, so far the audience is saying she wasn't wrong.
So
Prototype Dad, what's your thought?
so just
what's
one of the
funny is
things.
I was kind of trolling in that moment because, okay, when I'm dating and a guy is pursuing me, no, like I don't feel like I should be pulling out my wallet for you. But when you're my man, oh, baby, like I'm gonna spoil you. Like I'm gonna buy you some like appropriate.
Hold on. They want me to repeat the question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me put it up in the chat. Hold on, y'all.
I
Go ahead,
think
Prototype Dad.
if we go on a 3 day spree together, so that's how I feel about it. But the whole time I'm looking for cooperation anyway. So whatever way, from the first interaction, from the phone conversations, if I don't see any cooperation, then there won't be a second, third. It might not be a first. You know what I'm saying? So for you to get that far without showing some form of cooperation, I think it just doesn't make any sense. I don't even think you would get that far. But like I said,
Really?
Oh,
if
hold
we
on.
go if we go out on the third, if we out on the third date, if there's a third date, you my girlfriend.
What?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get a
prototype.
poll.
Don't be
Let me.
doing that to women because it be men that take you out on a third date and they would still be saying well, they going with the flow.
Well,
Hold
I
on.
mean,
Let
it
me get a
depends.
poll.
If you gave them some, then yeah.
Oh, let me get a poll. Hold on. And I got to refill my wine. So y'all keep talking. But in the audience, if a man takes a woman out 3 dates, I'm talking about appetizers before they even get their table. He's taking her to the bar, letting her get a nice little champagne martini. And then when they get to the table, please refill her drink, sir. Get the lady what she wants, sir. She get to pick her her main course, and she gets a little cheesecake and all that at the end. He does this 3 dates in a row, whether it's 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, every week. On the 4th date, B. Taylor says she would not take that man out.
I mean, how does those dates end?
Is she wrong for that? 1 for yes if she wrong. 2, no, she's not wrong. But go ahead, Prototype.
Oh, go ahead.
It depends on how those dates ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened at the end of the date?
Nothing. Went home.
Nothing will help. No, there won't be a second, third date.
What?
Even for that to happen.
What? So we sleeping for food now?
See, here's one of
They've
those
been
trolling
sleeping
moments.
for food. They've been doing that. So we got half and half. 2, no, she not wrong. Denise say, yeah, you wrong.
Yeah, well, it depends, man. Like, is your interest genuine or not? Or so I don't expect you the first day, but the second date, if we ain't crossed, no second base, no, you know what I'm saying, first, second, third, something. I ain't come close to home yet. There might not be a third.
Mother J said 1B. She in the middle. 2B. Oh, one. Hold on. Did I get it wrong? Mother J. And then Travel One said B. Taylor is not wrong. Sleeping for food.
Is there no affection during these dates? It's just conversation.
No. Are you paying? Are you giving food in exchange for sleeping?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Am I giving food? No.
Wait, Prototype, you're married, right?
Yeah.
But when we talking about like,
we just talking about hypothetically.
No, but I'm saying, was that the requirements? Like, oh, by the third date, you better be giving up something. Because I thought women who want to be married, they shouldn't be doing that to men.
Manosphere, remember?
Right.
Women shouldn't be going out on dates with guys that they're not truly interested in.
Yeah,
but
I can see where the guy might think that that the girl was just with him because she wanted to go out and have a nice dinner. I mean, he needs to be reassured that this person is interested in me. Why is he going out and spending all his money on someone who doesn't want to be with him, but just is with him because he's paying for everything?
Well, what if there's other things like calling him, talking to him, initiating the conversations first? I don't know. Like, why does it?
That stuff is.
Or her kissing him.
You want that Kit Kat bar?
It ain't all. It's not always about the sex, but I mean, it has to be a progressive thing. Like,
right.
The intimacy has to be progressive during these dates. Like,
how quickly though? Hold on. Before you answer that, hold on. Denise says she's fair. She's a Libra. So is B. Taylor, Denise, and she says she's still not gonna pay.
She must be an October Libra. I'm a September Libra.
Okay, so go ahead. So Prototype, you're saying there has to be a level of intimacy.
Build up. Yeah, it has to build up. You know what I mean? So if I don't even say that, but if we're like, okay, we're not if you're communicating with me on a regular basis, that's cool. You just got to show interest. And as the dates go on, like I said, I need to be going to first base, second base, third base. If you're making me wait, then I'm gonna try to figure out why you're making me wait. But like I said, if I go 3 days with you, I mean, I already decided that you're my girlfriend for the most part. So
what? Hold on, ladies in the chat. Are you? Hold on. This is new. We gotta talk. Listen, Miss Debbie, did your husband make you his girlfriend after the third date?
Oh, that was so long ago. We moved pretty quickly. Yeah. I knew when I met him, this is the kind of man that I need to be serious with. I knew when I met him. First time I met him. I just I knew this is the kind of guy the kind of man I need to be with. I knew it.
I think everybody knows that. Before I even approach a woman, like I know what I'm going to do with this woman.
So
Mm.
okay, hold on. Take me slow because y'all are wowing me with all of this information. First of all, let's get the chat involved. Do you consider yourself a couple in the chat after the third day? Ladies, is that your boyfriend? Men, is that your girlfriend? Hold on.
No.
That's the first thing. The second thing, prototype, because you said there that the intimacy needs to be progressive. But you also said when you first see her, you know that's yours. So if you know that's yours, why does
I
that
know
have to be?
I know my intentions. I'm not saying I know she's mine because it depends on whatever barriers or
Ah,
whatever skeletons I found out during the process. But I know exactly my intentions from before I even talk to her.
what are you? So you said there has to be first base, second base, third base. Can you describe to us what's supposed to happen on first, second, and third base so that everybody
You
knows?
know what that
No,
means.
we don't. That's
Yes,
why
y'all
we
do.
asking.
Yes, y'all know what that
No,
means.
we don't.
Yeah, I'm not going. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what rounding the
Ladies,
bases
do y'all
is.
know what you're supposed to do on first base,
uh-uh.
second?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh man,
third base. And
that's
you
Googleable.
got people still in second base. So break it down for us.
Yeah, people do still second base, but yeah, no, it's Google. But I'm not gonna break down what the rounding the bases is.
But
Y'all
you
know what
said
that
it.
is.
Okay, that's so unfair.
Trying to like, okay, story time. So I was dating this guy. Like the first day, okay, cool. Like no kissing, no, like it was like maybe a hug. And then like the second day, he asked for a kiss. And then we went on a probably a couple more days, like maybe like 4 dates. And I will never forget. And this maybe this is why I'm so traumatized about paying for stuff. Unless you my man, I'll never forget. We drove out to the Woodlands, and this man told me he forgot his wallet. Mind you, he was older than me, and I was a college student. I'm like, how you just gonna put that on a college student? I'm out here just waiting tables and stuff, and you talking about you left your wallet, and it was your idea to go out to the Woodlands, and the Woodlands area is pretty pricey. Okay, so I had to kind of like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna order another beer and another drink," and I'm like, "Oh, this mofo here." So I just feel like, no, unless you're my man, I am not spending money on you. Now I'll show affection towards you to show like there is interest because I'm not gonna kiss you if I'm not interested. That's how you'll know. So if I'm not showing any type of affection, the level of affection, then that just shows like my interest level in you. But I don't feel like it should be monetary the way men are monetary.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying. Like I said, it is a level of affection, right? So I actually, if a girl's not comfortable with being affectionate right away, like I know some women are not as affectionate as others, and they need a little bit more time to kind of build up. I think the best thing for her would be to like pay for, put the tip down, or buy him a drink during the process of the dating period, and that kind of resets his clock on when anything's expected out of her. You know what I mean? So it's it's just it's just honorable to do that. You don't have nobody just paying if you don't truly like feel that way about them. You don't have nobody just paying for you all the time. It's just not honorable.
Really? Even if they got it like that? Hold that thought. Jeanette Stewart says, why should he expect change if he's a protector provider? Why is sex a factor? What are you seeking, sir? So just hypothetically, why is sex such a factor during the first 3 dates? Prototype dad.
Um, because I mean that's we have those desires. You can't negate like women have y'all wants and needs, and men have their wants and needs as well. So I'm not going to negate y'all what y'all need. So I mean, just be respectful of what
But
we
that's
need.
our
And
power. That's where
huh?
we hold our power and our leverage. And you're saying by the third day, this is what happens to women when they give it up on a third day and they don't even know if the guy truly likes them enough. Right? That's 3 weeks. Like we say if y'all went out every
Okay, if she's not sure and she's not
week.
ready to do that, put the tip down.
No, I'm saying like I think that I would always suggest don't have sex until he shows you commitment because that's how a lot of women end up having sex with a guy they've been with for a year and they're like, oh, we're still dating, and it's a year, And I'm like, are y'all dating or y'all just having sex? So because at this point now you confused and you holding on to this guy because he's not really taking you serious. And now you feel like you gave him the most precious thing that you can give a man. So now you're like, well, I'm already invested. I might as well stick it out. This is how women rack up bodies.
Hold on, hold that thought. Miss Debbie, in your opinion, what's the most precious thing a woman can give to a man, in your opinion?
Her love, her, I think sex should be sacred. Listen, I came of age in, I was 16, 17, and 69. I mean, so, everybody, it was free love and, all that. And, like, no, love is not free. But I believe that it really is sacred, and you develop a soul bond when you let someone into your body. They leave their DNA in you. I think it's a sacred thing, and I don't think sex should be casual. And I think, I just, there are other ways to take care of yourself. We're all adults. We all know how to take care of ourselves. We don't have to do that with a partner. Um, that's what I think. I think that that a woman should, know that that's a very sacred thing, and not give it freely, to just anybody. I really just, and I mean, I used to be a hippie, and maybe because of all those experiences I had, maybe it led me to understand,
Hold on, Miss Debbie, what all experiences?
well, I grew up in the 70s. Everybody was having sex with everybody. I mean,
And
it was
smoking weed? Was y'all smoking weed too?
oh yes, oh yeah. Smoking weed, doing acid.
They do that now, child.
Are they people still doing? They're still doing that. I don't have any teenagers anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, yeah, I guess people still are doing that. Yeah.
Wait, somebody said you highlighted that. Somebody said Bigfoot won when women wait and they wonder why the guy moves on.
All right, talk
That,
about it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna refill my
okay,
wine. Y'all talk about it.
prototype. That's conflicting because from other men and the manosphere, they said if a guy really likes you, he will wait. So that's how you'll be able to tell if a guy really likes you or not, because the ones that was never gonna stick around from the get go were gonna leave anyway, regardless if you gave it to him or not. Because men know if they meet you, if they want you to be their wife or they want you to be their bust down.
Right.
So saying that, I'm just saying, like, it's so many women that I know that
So
up and then they get caught up
it's
in their feelings.
you know what it is? It's the fact that women don't have any purity anymore, right? So it's like nobody's a virgin at this point. You probably got a one night stand in your background, and we're thinking about all that. So if I'm on my fourth date and I know you don't had I have in my head that you probably had a one night stand before. You gave it up to another dude faster than you giving it to me. I'm not lesser than no man, and I'm not going to sit here and wait for that because evidently you don't like me like that, like you liked him. So I'm not sticking around for that.
But that's
So
assuming though, because there
I
are
mean, it might be assuming, or we might have had the conversation about past or what you've been doing, or have what you explored, or So if we've had any of that stuff, and I know and it came out in the conversation, like I'm telling you my past, and you're like, oh yeah, there was this one time I had this one night stand with this guy, and I automatically I'm just super confident like that, where I'm like, I think I'm better than any guy on the planet, so if you're giving anybody better treatment than you're giving me, then I'm not sticking around for that. So I mean, it's just, I mean, that's just how
why.
I am.
Hold on, let me read this super chat real
Mhm.
quick from Jeanette Stewart. I don't know what y'all was talking about, but she says, "Sir, no woman is paying to maintain her worth." What were
I
y'all
don't
saying?
think that was to me.
No,
Oh, okay. Oh, that's in
that
the
was
chat.
no, it was to paying for the meal to show that she's interested, like she's worth being taken out again because she's paying for the fourth date.
Oh no, so it's not even about paying for your worth. It's just showing that you're a team player and you're cooperative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I know, like, if you're out with if you're don't you complain about going out with your homegirls, and there's that one girl that don't never got no money.
Hold
You
on,
know,
Big Rig Slap say I'm smoking weed right now.
like, you
I'm
know what I'm saying?
sorry. Go
Like,
ahead.
if you're not going to keep hanging out with that person if they're just a leech. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we feel like, oh, this person's a leech. They're getting me for food. You're not being affectionate with me. Like, you're not being that way with me. So I'm just going to keep paying for what? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like pay your worth, but nobody likes a leech. And that's what it's coming off. It's coming off as leechy vibes. And you're setting the tone for the rest of the relationship, right? So now we're thinking like, damn, like I'm be with her. Why? She never showed me she was cooperative.
So
So she's
men
just
are
gonna leech
actually
off of me.
are men taking women out on, let's keep it real. Can we talk real, y'all, like adults? Because I think this is where a lot of we cross wires, men and women, and there's a miscommunication and a misunderstanding. So based on what you're saying, should a woman assume that when he's taking her out, he's expecting a little something, something?
He's expecting a genuine connection. He's expecting her to like him back. That's what he's expecting. You know what I'm saying? And some of us measure it by how fast you give us sex. Some of us measure it by how fast you know what I'm saying? It just depends on her past and the vibe or whatever, right? So if I feel like like men don't like to be teased either. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're a super flirty girl and then you know what I'm saying at the end of each day you're like, okay, we're not doing it this time or whatever. I'm like, well, I don't want to be teased. You know what I'm saying? It's just a level of mutual interest. And if I'm just paying stuff and you're giving me a hug goodbye, you're definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like you're
And a
not
church hug at
interested.
that, where I'm
Yeah, you're
all the
giving
way
me you're giving me the side hug. Oh, I had such a good time. You gave me a side hug, and I'm like, damn, like nothing, like you know what I'm saying? Like we all seen the movies. You're supposed to get some type of affection at the end of the situation, right?
So
It's
is that
just
supposed
how
to
it
be a
is.
white person kiss or a black person kiss?
I don't know the
In the
difference.
movie, you know Love Jones and you've seen The Notebook. So which kiss are you wanting?
I have never seen the Notebook.
Okay, you've seen Pretty Lady,
I
Pretty
don't
Woman.
look. Don't judge me. I don't really watch
What
white
about
movies.
Titanic? Armageddon,
Nah,
Tom and Jerry.
Why you ain't seen the Titanic?
nah. I mean, I've seen
Be
bits and
capping.
pieces. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched that long movie like in entirety. You know what I'm
Daryl
saying?
said he loved The Notebook. So you done seen some movies. What kind of kiss are you expecting?
Monsters Ball.
Oh
What?
my God.
Oh my
Oh my God.
God.
I had to, that's with
No.
Halle Berry, right?
Yep.
Wow. Not the Monster Ball Kid.
He keeping it real.
She won a Grammy. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not no lesser than any man. So if you gave another man affection in a smaller time than you've given me, then you've already showed me you haven't liked me. So it's cool.
All right, ladies. So in the chat, feel free to come up. I dropped the link to share your dating experiences. Are you okay with showing a man your affection on the third date? And you know what I mean. And don't be lying. Miss Debbie, in your heydays.
I wouldn't date anyone that I wasn't interested in. I mean, on the first date, if I determined that I'm not interested in him, there's not going to be a second date or a third. So if
True.
there's a third date, then I'm definitely interested in you. And yeah, I would be ready to show my affection, but I don't know. Now I now feel like maybe, I've made a mistake by doing things too quickly. I do everything so too quickly, and that maybe you should get to know someone really well before you open yourself up to them,
I agree. Especially these days are different. Like, I feel like this generation is a little bit, they're extremely liberal when it comes to intimacy. And I feel like they lack a lot of discretion. Like, it is what it is with them. So I think it's me personally, I would be very careful. Not because I'm playing games, but just because of people are so free now, But real
So
quick,
liberate.
thrifty girl, I see you backstage. Can you flash your camera on? I just want to make sure you're a real person. Nobody can see you but me. All right, you're good to go. And I'm
I'll
gonna
let her
bring you
come.
up.
I'll let her
Okay.
come because I gotta get up early. I gotta get up at 6 a.m.
Okay.
Y'all
And
have
we're
a
gonna
good night.
end, y'all. We're gonna end in 5 minutes. So thank you, B. Taylor, for
Thank
joining us.
you. Have a good night, everybody.
We're gonna go for 5
Good
more
night.
minutes. Bye, B.
Night.
Taylor.
Bye.
Sheba, can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Is Tanka J one of your mods?
Yes.
So you've seen her face? Because you've seen
No,
her
but I
face.
have no, let me say, no, I have not, and I'm aware of all of the rumors that are going
Mhm.
around, but I have communicated with her extensively. And I'm the type of person where I work like this. Until you show me otherwise, a level of disrespect, I'm okay with you. My grandmother used to always say, people know who to try and who not to try, right? And as
Right.
long as people operate accordingly with me, I
Well,
hesitate to, because until we know, no, 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 and I haven't watched the videos that you watch and I know what you're talking about, I cannot take a position
okay.
outside of,
No,
outside of
I'm
the
not
palace.
asking you to do that. I was just thank you for answering
Yeah,
that
yeah,
question.
I got you. Thrifty, what are your thoughts of everything we're talking about?
Yes. Hey, hello, everyone.
Hello.
I was listening to the question. I think you asked, is it okay for the man to pay for 3 dates and then the woman pay for the fourth date? And I
Hmm.
was listening to the different answers. And what I think, because I was this person maybe about a little bit over 10 years ago, um, when you're in your 40s and 50s, you can't act like you're 18. And what I mean by that is when you're in your 40s and 50s and you're still dating, you have to know the man wants sex. More than likely, you want sex. I think what I had to learn is I couldn't take that coy position like a teenager, like, I want to wait. I want to wait. If you want to wait, then you need to bring that to the table at the beginning before you even accept the meal, because you need to just put it out there. Hey, this is where I am. I'm celibate. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to wait for marriage, whatever your position is. And then if that man doesn't see it that way, then you know that this is not the person you should be going out to dinner with, because he's putting on the table, hey, I need intimacy. I need sex. And so I like I said,
Yeah.
I was this person about 10 years ago, and I just had that, I would call it an immature look at it. But now, and in my mid 50s, I know that, and I'm with, with someone that we had to bring to the table what we want, what we both wanted, and you make it known at the beginning. It's just like a business meeting. If we're not thinking alike, then, this is not, we shouldn't be dating. And I just think that women, we do ourselves a disservice when we try to make men uh, wait for us. Get with one that won't wait.
I got it. This is good, but let me read this super chat because I think we're on to something. And I also think we're educating the audience when we talk openly and honestly.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of spaces where you can openly talk about intimacy without it coming across as kind of grungy, but this is like really sophisticated and I'm loving it, right? But it's also, I don't know, I think it's important to talk about it. Real quick, our Heb says, I hope I said it right. Good topics and panel. Thank you. We appreciate the super chat. Now, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
It based on your Thrifty and Deb, do most women want to become intimate but feel like they have to put on an act and wait? Is it an act when most women are waiting? Or like what are your thoughts when it comes to before the third date or by the third date, ladies?
I,
Do
I,
most women want to move forward?
I think it is an act, in my opinion. I think if you are, let me put it like this, if you are an active person, as far as intimate with, have been intimate, you have not been celibate for 10 years, you shouldn't put on an act, just, I just think it's more honest when you come to the table and say, hey, before before we're intimate, I want to get to know you more. Before we're intimate, I want to well, tell the truth, what you're looking for. If you want marriage, tell them what you're looking for. And I think if the man is mature, he says, hey, before I marry you, I want to know how you are in bed. Then you have the choice to make that decision right then. Well, I don't want to do that. You walk away. But I think that we are trying to force men to do something or be something that they're not, because
Oh,
what we have in our head, according to society, you're not supposed to do this before this or that or whatever. And I'm not knocking that. If you don't want anybody touching your body before marriage, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. To me, it's one of the best things to do is wait. But you can't force somebody else to see it that way. You have to get with someone that feels the same way.
let me ask you
I
this,
think
and then I want you to jump in. When you say if a woman feels sexually liberated to go there, what if that man requires a little bit more than just, him in a meeting of just sexual relationships with the woman? What if he wants other things?
But
Should
that's
she take that into consideration when she say, "Yeah, I want to have sex with him"? He may say, "I want you to do this, this, and that." How does a woman handle that? Is that something she should consider? And then,
No,
like,
if it's
mhm.
not what you want, if it's not what you are bringing to the table, you know what you want. I think the young man says he already knows when he sees a woman, he approaches her, he already knows what he has in mind for her. Whether he wants to date her, whether he wants to marry her, whether he wants to just do something else with her. Women are the same way. We know. And whatever you want, and what I mean by what if you want marriage, if you want children, if you want a big house, if you don't want to work and you want the man to just work,
Oh,
you know,
that's true.
all of these things. But what we do, in my opinion, from what I've seen, you it's almost like you're trying to trick them. You're trying to,
Oh,
and like, I'm this person, I'm so this and I'm so that. I don't sleep with anyone before marriage, or I'm gonna work too. But when you really want to be a housewife, I've seen it all. It's like, just be honest when you come to the table. And
okay.
if that man says he doesn't want that, then just have enough courage to walk away. But don't try to trick or force him to want what you want, and vice versa. On the man, speaking from the man part too, if he wants this and that and the other, don't try to trick this woman to think that, oh, I'll wait as long as it takes, when you know that that's not what you want. Just be
I
honest,
got it.
table.
Prototype dad, what are your thoughts?
um I'm thinking this whole back and forth thing between men and women is basically just because we don't understand. We want each other to think like us. Like we're expecting women to think like men, and women are expecting men to think like women.
Mhm.
And it's just not happening. We can't come to a balance. I think it's more. It would be better for me to understand women on what they on their wants and needs, and women understand men. I mean, women understand men on their wants and needs, and in that way we can negotiate or not negotiate or find out if it's compatible that way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you have these needs, I can do that. You know what I mean? Well, I have these needs, and he'd be like, "Well, I could do that." I bet, but it's not the same love language at all. You know what I'm saying? We just have two different things, and I think we get wrapped up in doing the easy thing, and that's giving somebody your love language. That's the easy thing to do because you're
Mm,
used to doing that. You know how you want to accept love. You know what I'm saying? So you can easily project that out. But men and women are different in that, where you have to do what he wants and he has to do what you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way the love can work.
Bigfoot one says we cannot understand women and they will never understand us, but we can still love on each other. What are your thoughts about that, Miss Debbie?
Wow. Um, Not understand us. I I don't know. My husband and I talk, and I think it's really important to listen to him. And sometimes I don't, and I'm kind of like, realizing that when I talk to him about something, that what he says back to me, I need to really listen to and be open to, what he's telling me. And, so I think communication is really important. It's important to listen to your partner. It's important to respect each other, to treat each other with respect and be honest with each other. What do you want? This is what I want, and this is what I want. Do we want the same thing? If not, then can we compromise, or what can we do? If we can't, then we we'll have to walk away or go, okay, fine, then we can't agree on this, or I don't want what you want, and you need to find somebody else who does want what you want. I think it's just communication. I think people need to communicate with each other, and
I
I think
agree.
that's important. I think that's important, and it's hard. You have to get to know somebody enough to know whether or not you can trust them, or you should trust them, whether they are trustworthy. And I mean, if two people are just looking for a casual sex, fine. If that's what both parties want, then more power to them. But I don't think that any woman should give a man sex because he wants it and she doesn't. No, that's non-negotiable. That's when you go, okay, fine, peace, go about your journey and I'll go on mine, because that's not happening until
I
you know
agree. I think a lot of what you say makes sense, which takes us to when you say sex. Y'all, we're grown. We're just having like a nice little night tonight. Um, the next question comes from Janet Jenkins. What is your thought process about sex on the first date? I'm gonna give it a shot, and then I want y'all to jump in. Prototype Dad, you're second, and then Thrifty Girl, you're third, and then Debbie, you're next, fourth. My thoughts about sex on the first date is completely different than I used to think about it in my 20s. And I'm not going to tell you what I think. I just think it's completely different. Prototype Dad, what are your thoughts? Sex on the first date.
You didn't answer that at all.
I did answer
No,
it.
you didn't answer
Yes,
that
I
at all.
did.
Why? Why are you afraid to put your thoughts out there on the topic?
Because I'm a little bit, I'm not afraid. I just want to make sure I'm being responsible. I don't know the age of everybody that's listening, right? I'm gonna say you're grown. You're a grown adult. Like when I was 20 something, I would probably ration out and play a little bit of games and manipulation. And even though I felt I wanted to, but I didn't because I went to college, I didn't want to be looked at as a hoe or things like that. So you have to play this level of sophistication where there's levels like the Mario Brothers. Dong, dong. You go to the next level, first base, second base, third base. But now,
Oh, now you know bases now.
no, I know what bases mean to me. I asked you to tell us what it meant to you, and you
Okay,
didn't want to do that.
because y'all know, and you just referenced it. Stop
Yeah.
it.
So,
um,
anywho, go ahead, prototype that.
the question, what was it? What's my thoughts on sex on the first night?
Yeah, I mean, does that close? What are your thoughts if a woman was generous enough to allow you, you took her out for a little lobster or a 2-piece and a pepper,
Hmm.
and you got sex? What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I mean it's cool. I'm coming back. Well, if it was good, I'm coming back. And
Are
then
you coming back for marriage or are you coming back for sex?
I mean, marriage is I don't know. It depends on how everything went. Like if I got a cool vibe and you know what I'm saying, and I think I could deal with you for a long term period. Like I said, like by the third day, you my girlfriend anyway. So like, I mean, if you want to expedite it, so it's like if you give me sex on the first night, I'm probably going to see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, man. Like I don't think it really hinders anything. I will tell you something though. Um, my wife was open to giving it to me on the first night, and I didn't take it because I knew I wasn't in a rush.
How did that come up for y'all to
Hmm?
even have that conversation? How did you even discover
I
she was
don't need a conversation. You just know when somebody's, what I mean, open. You know what I'm saying? She was open from the time, I met her. So but I wasn't in a rush to really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need that right now. I'm really trying to it's gonna go further than we got plenty of time for that.
so you
So
liked her?
Like I said, I knew what I wanted from the gate.
Oh, got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Debbie. No, I'm sorry. Thrifty girl, what are your thoughts?
Hmm.
Sex on a first date.
I don't see anything wrong with it if it's what you want, as long as you're not using it as a trade off to get a relationship or to get long lasting love.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it because you think that it's going to make this person your boyfriend or your husband. It's going to encourage him to want you more. If you're going to do it because you want to. Don't have any strings attached to it. I'm talking about from the woman's perspective. Don't do it because you think that you're going to win something from that individual if you do. But outside of that, if you're an adult and if you're feeling that and you want to do it and he's on board, I don't see anything wrong with it.
All right. Thank you for sharing,
Mhm.
thrifty girl. Debbie, what are your thoughts? Sex on a first date.
Well, it would depend on, I guess, the age of the people. I would say that can't you don't really know each other. There would have to be a great deal of sexual chemistry, but sexual chemistry doesn't always guarantee that you're going to have a good relationship with this person in other areas. And like I said, I don't think that I just don't believe in casual sex. And I don't understand how people, I know a lot of people do and they don't have a problem with it, but to me, to me, girls, especially females, can get this soul bond. You know, you I really you get a soul bond with someone you let inside of you. I think, and that's you just don't want to be letting anybody and everybody inside of you.
That's
I
true.
think you get a part of their soul, and if they're a troubled individual, you really shouldn't have a part of that soul,
I
and you
think
don't know them. You don't know them well enough on the first date.
Dee Dee
That's
says there's no way I would do that with a stranger on the first date.
lies.
You said honest.
I said lies
No.
Why you think Dee Dee is lying?
because I don't know how old Didi is, but most women have had a one night stand at some point in their life. So I mean,
So hold on. That's a difference. A one night stand versus sex on a first date. Those are two separate
those
things.
those are two separate things. So
Hmm.
one's worse than the other.
So I think you just showed your hand.
What?
You said most women have had a one night stand, which tells me that if a woman gives you sex on a first date, you finna ghost her. And
No,
that's
that's
gonna
not
be
what
a
that
one night
means.
stand to you
That's not what that means.
and sex on a first date to her.
If a woman gives me sex on the first date, it's kind of expected. I expect it.
From thereafter.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm surprised if you're not giving it to me on the first date.
What?
So like, I mean, not that I'm like pressing it or anything, but if
Why
it's
are you
not
shocked?
because I'm me,
Okay, Kanye. Tell
no,
us about you.
no. I'm just saying, like, I don't.
I'm
I,
giving you a hard time.
I check a lot of the boxes for a lot of different people. So you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I kind of expect it. So
What
I mean,
boxes do you check? Because I wanna make sure everybody's listening.
I mean all of them.
No, I'll prototype that. You can't just be talking shit and can't give
I
us
mean,
a rundown of your
I
resume.
can, I can. I mean, I kind of check all of them, and what I don't check, I make up for, in personality and charisma and everything else. So it's just or finances or whatever it might be. I don't uncover any bases. You know what I mean? So you might look at me like, oh, he's not 6'4". You know what I'm saying? But he has XYZ, like, you know what I mean? Or he's funny, or he has hazel eyes. I don't know, whatever whatever it might be. Like, you know what I'm saying? I make up for whatever. So I just
What's your sign? A Leo?
and I'm a Virgo.
Oh, Virgo. Okay, there y'all go. He a Virgo. He said he checks every box.
Hey, Queen,
Yeah.
excuse me. I wanted to say this as well. If although I said what I said, I do agree with Debbie. But I just think, I think that being intimate with someone is, in my opinion, spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that if someone decide to be intimate with someone on the first date, that they should have that right to do that and not feel bad about it. If they are an adult, a mature adult, I should say that as well. But I do agree with her on that as well. But you have to go in knowing, okay, if you're going to have this intimate moment for the first time and not know this person as well, you have to know that there is going to be a certain soul tie with that. So, and I do believe that, but that's not to say that if a woman decides to do that, she shouldn't be labeled, you know, what you could, as a garden tool, because we have the right to make those choices. If we're feeling that and we want to do that, we should have the right to do that without anyone being critical of us.
I agree. Bigfoot says, I don't understand how everything starts off so beautiful, right? At first, and then the dates turn to now you're in a serious relationship. Now you're married 5 to 10 years, and then everything just stops. So the question is, what happens? Why does everything, and when we talk about everything, he or she is talking about, I think Bigfoot is a man. I'm going to assume he's talking about intimacy. His question is, why does everything stop? The intimacy, ladies, in a marriage. What are your thoughts, Miss Debbie?
I think there can be lots of different reasons that it stops. It can be one partner maybe initiates all the time and gets tired of doing that, and goes, okay, fine. If I'm always have to start it, then I'm just going to stop starting it, and you know, then the intimacy kind of goes away. It can be things like stress and pressures on the marriage, children, uh, having a special needs child can put a lot of stress on a marriage. um, and I think you lose each other, and you can't figure out how to find your way back to each other.
Oh, okay. Prototype that. Okay, hold on. Let me process that because I want to make sure I'm hearing everything everybody's saying.
I mean, she
Okay,
said it
got it.
all. She answered it. I don't think there's anything else you could really add. Um, I didn't even think about the intimacy thing of one person always starting the intimacy and then getting tired of it. Um, it goes back to the paying for the dates thing, right? Like if I got to pay for all the dates, if I got to start all the intimacy, you know what I mean? If I got to make all the phone calls, it all lines up in the same, right? If we're not calling each other, if we're not talking unless I call you, you know what I'm saying? If we're not sexual unless I touch you, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge thing. If we're not going out on dates unless I'm paying, you know what I mean? I think it all lines up, and I think that's the way everybody can understand it. But and on top of that, th- life, makes you kind of like not have time. You know what I'm saying? Like I have 4 children who play sports and running around to
Mm,
all these different sports, and sometimes we're over here. By the time we get home, we might be tired.
at
There's
night.
yeah, there's a lot of different things, or during the day.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? It's
Mm.
just it's just a lot going on. So
Well, let me say this because I think that question, I think he's really looking for a solution because he says, I'm 52 and she's 53. So
she's
obviously
53.
this is a real problem. And I love the fact that people trust us enough to put it in the chat. And I
Mhm.
think he's looking for a solution. So what would you say? A man that's married sounds like he's married to an older woman and he's not getting what he needs. Thrifty girl. Any recommendations?
Well, in my opinion, I've been with my partner. He and I have been together 10 years. And I think you have to decide in the beginning, which we did, we defined intimacy. You
Mm,
define it. Some people think intimacy is just sex. Some people think intimacy is, I want a hug. You have to define for your relationship what is intimacy. Intimacy can be just being able to cook a meal for someone and tell them, "Hey, I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, what you do for me, for our family." Whatever the case, you have to define what is intimacy for you, so that you won't get disappointed when something doesn't happen in the way that you think it should happen. I think a lot of people do not do that in the beginning because they have this, we've been programmed to think that intimacy has to be, um, you touch me, we make love. Um, what else can we use for? I'm trying to think of something that society tells us. You don't kiss me enough. You don't kiss me the right way. All these things, but there's more things to being intimate with one another, so that you won't get lost in the confusion of these two or three things that you may consider uh, as being intimate with one another. Because if you think sex is the only thing about that sex is the only definition of intimacy, then you will get tired.
well,
As
most
you,
people do think. Most people
as
haven't
you
been taught outside of that.
yeah,
I mean, if we could keep it real.
yeah, the older you get, I mean, first of all, you have you get busy. You have goals, you have plans, you have dreams, and you just cannot just get wrapped up with having sex 7 days a week. You'll never get anything that you want to accomplish done. So you have to define it. What is intimacy to you? Is it when I come behind you and just rub the back of your head and just let you know I'm here? I mean, there are so many ways, and I just hope and pray that maybe he and his partner can get together and just kind of redefine what it is.
Right. Well, I have a recommendation now that I'm listening to all of you, and Debbie, I want to come to you next. Um, Bigfoot, one, I think that's the name. I would probably say change the environment. Sometimes you can fall into a mundane routine in your home. So this is my recommendation for you, and I want you to email me and tell me how it works. When you have extra money, I don't know what your budget is. I want you to book a nice hotel in your city. And I want you to give your wife a heads up and say, pack your bag. She can, where we going? Da, 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 da. We got a dog. If there's a dog, I need you to arrange daycare, because a woman, if you do not, you can't just book a trip and not have a babysitter for the dog, or have a pet sitter, or have a pet hotel for the dog, because then we're going to worry about that. Okay. So everything needs to be handled. I want you to book a hotel, a nice hotel. I want you to buy her some really nice undergarments and what you want to see her in. I want you to pack it up and put, as she's getting her little nightie, her weekend bag, her weekender together, say, I got you this. Don't say, I got you this and I want to see you in that, girl. Don't do all that extra. Just say, I got you this. I want you to treat her right. Take her to the hotel. Don't try to come at her when she gets there. Take her to dinner. Open the blinds for her. Tell her how beautiful she looks. And just see if it happens naturally.
Yes.
If she just opens up like a beautiful flower. And I'm not talking about intimately with her organs, but with her heart. Sometimes women need you guys to go the extra mile. And sometimes you men stop taking us out on thoughtful dates. So that's what I would like to see you do if you can afford it. If you can't afford to do that, do something really nice inside your home. And then email us, me, Prototype Dad, whoever you want to email, anybody on this panel. Well, you can find me in Prototype Dad because he has his own YouTube. Let us know how it went. But do not tell her or lead on that you're doing this for sex. Most men make that fatal mistake. They'll say, I'm buying you this. I can't wait to see it tonight. Da, da, da. Don't do any of that. Do it just like you would a first, second, or third date, where you putting the ball in her court. What do y'all think, panel?
Great idea.
I
That's a
think
good idea.
romance is important to women, that we need to be romance to get into the mood. Men maybe don't, but I think that women do.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I said maybe. I qualified that.
Miss Debbie says she's sharp. She said maybe. Look, I want y'all to answer this question. It's been here forever. ADR says my brother had many chicks.
I don't want to answer
One of
this.
his girls I liked, but he didn't. He liked one of the girls that his brother had sex with. That's basically what he's saying. He liked the girl, his brother didn't. She was just sex to him. And he actually called her a hoe. She said, well, you slept with this hoe. So what does that make you? What? A homemaker. Okay, never mind. I thought that was a question. I'm sorry. I thought he was saying he was into this woman. Never mind. I'm sorry, ADR. I'm sorry. But they're saying that I'm giving great advice. Was that great advice that we gave to Bigfoot?
I think so.
I think so.
If you gave, yeah, take your credit.
He
Good
said
advice.
he's gonna try it. Bigfoot, do you want to come up, or I don't want you risking your voice if you somebody that don't want to be. You want to come up real quick? I'll drop the link in the chat. They said, yeah. He said he gonna try that. That's good advice. That he gonna take her out. I want you to get something nice. You can go to Amazon. Now Amazon carry nice clothes too. And don't let nobody make you feel bad because women order clothes from Amazon. It ain't gotta be nothing too expensive. Does she drink, Bigfoot? Get some night. Tell the hotel I want a chilled bottle of champagne in the room. I want it popped open. I want some strawberries. Take her in the room. Don't try to do nothing. Open the blinds. Say, look at this. All this for you, girl. All
Balcony.
this for you, girl. And then
Balcony work.
And then say, get dressed. Let's go downstairs. Go to the bar, have a nice bite to eat, go out on the town, do all of that. Don't initiate anything and see what she does. What do y'all want to say? Panel.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, you gave them the best advice. I really don't have
Yeah.
any advice to give, right? Not on that. If you're losing intimacy from your woman, do whatever you got to do to get it back. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Is she in good shape? Is she still her body? Let me tell you why. Because the more weight you put on, the more fatigued you become. So Bigfoot, has she gained a lot of weight? Like, I'm not talking about like how much she weighs, but I'm like physically, is she capable of carrying out day-to-day movements without any physical ailments? That's what I'm asking. Let's see.
what was our last question? Men or women?
He says she's gained some pounds since we first met, but can she carry out day-to-day activities? Like some people, depending on how much weight they've carried, they have thyroid issues, they're really tired. He said, yeah, she's fine. She's okay. Okay. So you got to put a little elbow grease in it by way of thought, flowers, all of that good stuff. Before we wrap up, panelists, any last thing you would like to add to the audience or share with the audience? Words of wisdom.
I don't have anything to say. It was a great panel. Thanks for letting me come up and say a few words. I appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up and really adding to the conversation. I think you added a level of depth and a level of honesty that was very refreshing.
Thank you.
Yeah, from a
Yeah.
woman's perspective.
Thank you so
Proto-
much. And
No,
you
you have a sweet your followers are nice.
Oh,
say that.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
have a sweet fan base.
You see why I
Yeah.
don't expose them to the manosphere?
It'll get ate up over there. I
So
mean,
will
it
you
just.
come back, Prototype Dad? Would you like to come back?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely come back. And Didi, no disrespect, gentlemen do wait. So I wasn't saying it like that. I would wait. I just me expecting it to just saying I'm confident enough, and why wouldn't somebody like me enough? So that's all.
So we're going to call him Kanye type dad instead of prototype. Kanye type dad. He's a Didi. He didn't mean no respect. He just like Kanye West. He feel it. He say he know he's sexy. He know he look good. And hey, it is what it is. Kanye type dad. Miss Debbie, what are your final thoughts?
I don't really have any words of wisdom to add. I really enjoy being on the panel, and enjoyed with the other panelists, the Thrifty Girl and Prototype Dad and Miss Taylor and Miss Sheba. I've really enjoyed this. Has been real nice.
It has been. And you know what? I was so happy to have you here, Miss Debbie. Number one, because of the diversity. And I love the fact that you jump in and you didn't blink an eye, honey, and you didn't go nowhere. And you stayed here with us and you rock with us all night. So listen, anytime, that's my dogs, y'all. Y'all hear him? That ain't me. I don't want y'all to be like, Queen Sheba's making that noise on live. That's my dog. He's a Frenchie. Can y'all hear him?
I can't hear him.
Oh my God.
He's a
So
Frenchie.
he's like that. What is it? Inverted.
Oh, he's got a
when they're
pug.
making
He's got
that noise.
flat face.
Yeah.
Oh,
So y'all, this has been great. So we're gonna do this again. A late night talk. Thank y'all for showing up tonight. I'm sorry I kept you up late. It was a great conversation. I love the way that it evolved organically and naturally. As always, I appreciate y'all. Listen, my members only be popping, so y'all may want to pay that $3.99.
I think I'm gonna do it too.
My members only be popping, honey. So members in the chat, I will see y'all Sunday. Y'all already know what we do on Sundays. And then we have Wednesday morning coffee talk as well.
Okay, thank you. And y'all have a good night.
All right.
You
Sleep
too.
well, everybody. God bless you all. Good night.
God bless you too. Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Thank you, Thrifty. Y'all have a good one.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
How do I get off?